Hey guys, I'm Mike.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Jason. Hey, I did it.
He did
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and we are live from two of our basements because we cover games from top to bottom. What's up, Tim?
What's up, man? It's good to see you.
Jason got a kick out of it. Yes.
Jason's not in his basement, right? You don't film in your basement. You just have like a
No.
room in your house, like
Yeah.
like a normal
Like a-
human being.
Yeah.
I assumed I forgot to ask.
Like an
Like
adult.
an adult. Yeah, got him.
This is my mom's basement. I forgot to tell everybody.
I knew it. I knew it.
She
Well,
doesn't
good to see
let me
everybody.
sense.
We got a bunch of people in here already. Katie, thanks for loaning us your husband for an hour. We really appreciate
Yeah.
it. We know that you would be a superior guest, but with our budget, all we could get was Jason. So, but real
Yeah.
quick, for those of you that don't know, Jason is one half of the podcasting duo, the Board Game Mechanics. He has a weekly podcast. They just finished last week their top 100 games of all time. I have been listening to Jason's podcast for years, back when he had a different host. But he also puts out reviews. Sometimes it's a couple videos a week. Just kind of depends on what he's got and what he's got time for. But Jason's got a ton of content over there, and he's one of the first people that I reached out to when I was trying to figure out how the heck to start a show. And he gave me lots of really good advice. And somebody knows you. But yeah, Jason's been a good guy to me, and I'm very grateful to him. So thank you, Jason, for coming on, hanging out with us.
It's a pleasure. Can't wait to talk games and roast you and Mike with some terrible games.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
So, Mike, why are we here tonight?
Well, first of all, we're here because it's Whiskey Wednesday, so cheers. Start off with Jason. What are you drinking, sir?
Well, first off, I have the fancy distilled shot glass because it's awesome. And I am drinking Mountain Dew Zero watermelon because that's how I roll.
Nice.
Ooh,
That's a
but out
good
of the shot
flavor.
glass. Out of the shot glass.
That's sophisticated. Was a pinky out there? I missed it.
It was. That's the only way to drink it.
Anything else, you're just a savage. You want to go next, Mike?
Yeah, I'm still drinking Iron Fish out of a different Purdue mug. It's only got the logo on one side. Let me make sure I have the correct side. Mix around because we're still number one.
Sure.
But Iron Fish, I've got one more healthy pour of it. Then a decision has to be made.
See, so I ran out last week, and then I had to. My choice is inspired by one of my favorite authors. He was a maniac from Louisville, Kentucky. He is no longer with us, but the man famously loved him some Wild Turkey. And that man was Hunter S. Thompson. Again, he was a maniac. I do not recommend his lifestyle or his life choices by any means, but he was really fun to read. So I'm drinking Wild Turkey, and I'm sweating every minute of it because it does not have notes of sweet vanilla, pear, and hints of spice. It only has notes of
Alcohol.
Wild Turkey and alcohol.
Dead turkeys, roasted cockroaches, probably some cigarette butts mixed in there.
Hey, Bob.
Bob, what's up? All right, so Tim, you asked the reason that we are here, and that is because we are going to talk about the top 5 worst games that we own. And so, of course, we combed our own lists, but then we shared our collection with each other. And at the end, we're going to talk about the worst games from each other's collection. However, if they choose it, you might as well spill the beans and say it was on your list as well. So, yeah, the worst games we own. What a great topic. Another one that was suggested by our Discord, by the way. If you're not in it, hop in our Discord. We're always chatting about games.
And Jason's got a Discord also. We'll share all that stuff later. But yeah, Board Game Mechanics, follow them on Facebook. Or they're #Derivative on Facebook.
Yep.
And they got a good Discord channel over there too. Sorry,
I'm
just going to keep throwing in Jason's stuff because he won't self-promote.
That's true. That's why we don't grow a lot. That's fine.
Well, we're gonna do a quick and dirty list here. So we're gonna actually cut right into it. So we're gonna get Tim's fifth worst game that he owns.
You guys ever own a game that the rule book is so bad you don't know how to play it, and you've tried to play it and you
That's
can't
one of these on
play it?
here.
There's a YouTube. I know there's a YouTube channel video that will explain how this game is played.
Not worth it.
Well, I don't know. I haven't tried the YouTube channel yet. I've been too lazy to watch the video because of other stuff going on. But this game is only on my list because I want to know how to play it and I can't learn it. And that is Star Trek: The Deck Building Game. This is OG series, original series Star Trek. I own the Next Generation one, but I haven't played it yet. I think this rule book traumatized me. But yeah, nothing in this rule book makes sense. It's brutal. But the game looks cool, and all the cards are like pictures from the show. I love Star Trek. I'm a Star Trek nerd, just like I'm a Star Wars nerd. But so this made my list just because I can't play it and I wanted to. But I bought this game like 8 years ago. I still have it.
Is it cooperative?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it is, because you're blasting other people's stuff. This isn't like missions or whatever one of the other Star Trek games.
Yeah.
It's not that one. But that's my garbage game number 5. It is a deck builder. You
Never
do something
played
with adding stuff to your ship and getting crew members and giving them tricorders and whatnots. But how that all works, no idea.
You haven't played it. I have actually played all the ones on my list.
So every other game I have played, and the games I pulled off of y'all's lists, I have played. So I made a point of that as well. So.
Yeah, I played all of mine too on all 3 lists. Yeah.
Ooh, all right.
Wow, and same. But I want to add, Tim, Jason's BGG is very well organized. Almost every game is ranked. I was very impressed going to his collection.
Yeah, like an adult. We've established that.
Yeah, like an adult, right? That's true.
Yeah. My BGG list is like a 6-year-old that just leaves a trash trail behind them as they walk through the house. You might find a sock on my BGG list. You might find an old cat turd, that just got like brushed under the rug. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff.
There's a third of a video devoted to this. So anyway, sorry, Jason, go ahead, sir.
All right, so my number 5. Now, technically, I'm going to cheat a little bit because this game was so bad that I had to get rid of it. But I did own this for a long time, and it was like maybe a couple months ago that I got rid of it. And this game is called GPS. It's from Board Game Tables. It came with Sequoia and Mountain Goats. Those 2 games are good. This game is awful. It looks fantastic. It has this spaceship spinner thing. You spin it and you're putting these satellites out. I don't know. It wasn't very fun. Their rule books are not super great because they're like 2 pages. So maybe I wasn't playing it right, but it was, compared to Mountain Goats and Sequoia, this thing is hot garbage. So
well, listen, I can vouch for Mike
bit.
and I. We never have played a game wrong ever. So
I definitely have not put out videos with wrong rules either.
Yeah,
more than one.
Yeah,
never done that.
Yeah. So that's my only key.
GPS.
The other ones I still have, and
So it's
I'll go to that.
Because you said there's like a spaceship thing, so it's actually like global positioning and not like about somebody's map app.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Board Game Tables has a decent track record of games that they put out, so I guess they were bound to have a dud, right?
Oh yeah, I would recommend everybody not even look at this game. It's that bad. It is awful. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Do not make eye contact with this thing.
You'll
just walk by.
You'll turn into something if you look at it.
It's so bad.
Wow. So, all right. My number 5 is a game that has like a million versions. It doesn't matter what version you have. I don't like this game so much. And it's the only box I forgot. It's Zombie Flux. Flux with just the ever-changing win conditions. Like, he randomly has the matching card of the win condition that came up. Congrats! Yay! That's my favorite way to lose a game. Yeah, not so much. I almost
wrote that down, but I hadn't played Zombie Flux, but I played other kinds of Flux. And the only one I even halfway like is the Monty Python Holy Grail one.
That's the one I almost bought just because it's Monty Python.
But it's just Python jokes the whole time. So, you know,
do you have it?
Takes you an hour and a half. No, I didn't. I never bought it.
Oh dang, I'd trade you.
So
But
I have Monty
Bobby,
Python.
we jumped.
Uh-oh. We got our first Tim buffer. We have Tim bot error number 1.
So I have Monty Python Flux, Batman Flux, and Wizard of Oz Flux, and Batman is the best of all of them, in my opinion.
I'm not like I dislike it so much I'd never play it again. Like if that was the only filler somebody had and I was like waiting for 15 minutes that hopefully didn't linger into a half-hour game that shouldn't because the wind conditions don't connect, I would play it again.
I actually played it not that long ago and I didn't hate it. It was fun.
Nice. Yeah, Bob, we are already onto our list. In fact, we're 20% of the way through it because now we're on number 4.
Have you guys ever played iDark Overlord? Okay. So iDark Overlord is kind of it's a straight up party game, but it's kind of fun because like a card will come out and then one person is the overlord, they're like the judge, and then the other players are like the sniveling cronies, and they have to explain why this evil plot went wrong, and that's what the card is, right? Like the heroes escaped. So you have to just BS this big old story, right, as to like what happened, and that's all it is, right? I enjoy that game. It's fun. It's not bad for the right group, but I do have this game based like sort of in the same world because it has the same art, and that's Craig Mortha. Okay, so
the name of that game is just funny.
Looks awesome.
That's the iDark
The
Overlord.
art's cool.
And all you're doing is like the Overlord is like standing at one end of the board, and everybody else is trying to like sneak around and get stuff out of his library. And so you're moving the Overlord and your own little piece around to try to do stuff. I don't know. It's just kind of dumb. I love
Craig Mortha.
Craig Mortha. Rigor mortis. It
sounds like a cave woman that was a housewife.
It does. It does. That might have been my first marriage. But I don't know. This might be fine to like play with my daughter, you know, like Mallory might dig this, and I'd play it with her if she wanted. But I don't know.
She role plays as Craig Mortha.
Yeah, I'm just the sniveling peon. But anyways, it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad. I need to move it along, you know, down the road. But I like the art. I like that weird cartoony.
It is cool art.
Looking bad guy.
Box
nice
cool.
Colors and everything. But yeah, I think I got it. Hold on a second. Jason, you can have it. Wrong, Jason. Jason that commented. Katie, I think I was at a
it's a real game.
I think Tim froze again.
Oh, did I freeze again?
Yeah, you did a little bit.
Oh, okay. I was at a convention and they had like a big flea market, and I think the game was like $5. And I'm like, oh, that's the iDark Overlord. Like people, like I liked iDark Overlord. I'm gonna get this game too. You know, so my mistake.
Wow.
My mistake. I
used to do that all the time though. I just $5-10 games, just buy them because they were $5 or $10. Yeah, not so much anymore because I ended up with several on this list.
I only do that.
I ended up with too much game bloat in my collection. I had to sell a bunch.
Well, the thing is Jason only does that, but it's because it's a 30-year-old Martin Wallace game that all the colors that it did have bled out over the 30 years.
It's been reprinted twice.
So it's still a good game. You just got the cheap version that nobody wants anymore.
Yeah.
Or as Jason says, the old and busted version. So
the brown version.
And Katie is truly the sage of our times right here with this.
No, she's wrong on board games. Cheap always means good.
I got some games coming your way, Jason.
All right. So speaking of,
I got the 5 I wrote down and then the 5 you wrote down. Just
all right. So speaking of cheap, Just how I said it's always good, except for this time. So Katie's a big fan of English and Shakespeare. And we watched Rado play this game about killing Shakespeare. It's a semi-cooperative game. And I found it on Amazon. And the game is called Kill Shakespeare.
Oh.
So this is a semi-cooperative game. It was $5. So, swing and a miss. But this game, I think there's a good game in here. But like you said with your first game, the rule book, I don't know how to play it from the rule book. I've fumbled through it once with Katie playing it, tried to play it twice by myself, watched Rado's video. I have no idea how to play this game. The components are trash. I even got a second copy of this sent to me because the first copy was so bad and the second copy was almost just as bad. And I don't even like the game, and they sent me 2 copies. But it's still in the collection. It's based on a comic book. It came with a comic book if you're into that stuff. It has meeples and tan. So I should like it, but I just don't know how to play it. So Kill Shakespeare.
The things we do for love.
Andrew with this comment. We get such great suggestions in our comments. I love it. Okay, so my number 4. I like social deduction and hidden traitor games. I did not like Good Cop, Bad Cop. That's not what this is, though.
Oh, I have that game. Like, it's right over
I
here.
know. I did not put it on my list for you. I did not like Good Cop, Bad Cop. And so I backed a game that was a complete retheme of that game. And I backed it. Then I played Good Cop, Bad Cop for the first time. I'm like, oh, I don't like this at all. And then I got this game and never played it, but it is just rethemed. It is Leaders of Euphoria, Choose a Better Oppressor. This is a Euphoria rethemed Good Cop, Bad Cop.
No,
It's
I
the
thought you didn't
same-
like Euphoria.
Huh? I've never played Euphoria,
Oh, I
unfortunately.
thought you didn't like Euphoria. I was going to be like, why did you buy
No, not me.
a retheme of
No.
a game you don't like when it's themed in a game
Well,
you don't like?
I hadn't played Good Cop, Bad Cop yet. I played it
Okay.
after I backed this game and then got it and never played it. But at least it came with these. I mean, it
Ooh,
came
that's
with
sweet.
4 of these, right? And so, like,
Yeah.
I've tried to sell this game multiple times and, like, a list of multiple games I'm selling because this alone would fetch a nobody, and I realize that. I've sold it twice. Each time the person was like, oh, this isn't Euphoria. No, this is not the this is not Stegmeyer's worker placement game. Oh, I didn't know that's what this game is. And they backed out of the purchase. That's happened to me twice with this game. It's just rethemed Good Cop, Bad Cop. And I don't like that game. And now Dan wants to play. I have these. So there's something to look forward to here.
I mean,
So,
Dan likes
I-
bad games, so that tracks.
Yeah, so I think what you did is you just found out what Dan wants for his birthday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so I can't even sell this game for like $20. So,
Oh no.
and it's got 4 of those guns in it. I mean, yeah, it looks cool, but
Just keep
What
the
you
guns
need
and
to-
trash the rest.
I know.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
put the guns in your cash and guns box. I know they
Well,
won't
Oh,
fit,
don't
that's
fit,
sweet.
but I know,
but
right?
you could have some cool cash and guns.
I
Yeah,
said I
that's
was going to
sweet.
do that for so long, and it still hasn't happened. So I'm a loser. All right, number 3.
Man, we were talking about a game, and I was like, I haven't played it. It can't be on my list. It'll be on my honorable mentions later. You guys weren't talking about the game you were talking about reminded me of a game that could have been on my list, but I haven't played it. So it's not on my list. My number 3,
It would be more useful if it could do that.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. My number 3 is Kittens in a Blender. I bought this game at Target. I
Why?
must have been in a fugue state because I don't know why. I think honestly it's like when you first get into board games and you're like, I just want games in my collection. and it's got cute art. The kittens look cute. I like cats. I like dogs, whatever. But anyways, you're trying to like save your kittens before somebody puts them in a blender and then blends them, which basically like discards them. I thought the theme was kind of funny, but back then, like last week, I had less discerning tastes, and I've grown a lot since then. And this game's pretty terrible. I mean, again, I might like. I don't know who I could give this to. Nobody's gonna want it. I'm not gonna be able to sell it. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, I thought I was buying Euphoria. This isn't that." They're like, no, it's not that. I can't even accidentally sell this to somebody.
I want it based on name alone.
Oh, okay, you could have it.
Is it
But you
a
have to
terrible
play it.
game?
I played worse, but it ain't great.
We're gonna do our worst game trade table soon.
Oh my god, it'll be hilarious. So Kittens in a Blender. It's made by Redshift and Closet Nerd Games. I mean, true story. I bought this at like Target, and it was super cheap. I could have been buying good games, but I was not. I could have bought one of Jason's busted up copies of Brass, and maybe like an old Feld game or something, with it. So
Brass is the gift that keeps on giving.
All right, that's mine. That's my 3.
All right, so
yeah, my 3. Yep.
my number 3, I'm going to blame this one on Katie as well because she's not in here, and I'll just have to deal with it later. But this is a party game, and it is a game where you have to describe something on a card through acting out, giving one-word clues. Honestly, I haven't played this, but I played a game like it. But these games are terrible, and that's monikers. I can't stand games like this when you're getting up acting like a fool playing a party game, and your group seems like they're like the dumbest people in the world because they can't get the clues that they've looked at the cards 14 times. I hate these games. I will never play this. I would love to get rid of it, but Katie likes it, so it'll stay in the collection, unfortunately. So
I've
my
almost
number
bought
3,
that game like 5
monikers.
times.
Don't
I've
do
almost bought that game a bunch of times. I never, obviously, I haven't. It's not on my list. But.
I mean, you like Title Recall, so you would probably like this.
Yeah, I do. I do like Title
yeah.
Recall.
It's
bit.
similar.
Oh boy,
Scott does not approve.
Wow. All right. Well, speaking of party games, that is also my number 3. So when that one big box store I shan't name had that 50% off sale, and everybody went crazy and rushed to that store and bought all their games, I picked up Ark Nova, and I picked up a version of Unmatched, and I picked up Imperial Legends, and I'm like, oh, that line. Oh, and I got to get back to work. So I didn't buy any of them. But luckily, one of my buddies went into that store the next day, and he got me a game half off, and that was New Phone Who Dis.
All right, let me cross that off of my list for you.
I knew it. I knew it.
So painful.
And technically, I've played it because we pulled 2 cards out of this thing on one of our streams. And hey, he did say he thought it was, What Do You Meme? But it's from the creators of What Do You Meme? So, bless his heart for the thought on this very friendly Christmas gift. New Phone. Who did?
See, I don't want to
Well, let's
bag
pull
on
a
it too
card.
much. I don't want to bag on it too much because your friend got this for you. He was
He doesn't watch. Bash on this game.
But that was like the worst 5 minutes of my life when we were playing that game.
So pull another card is what you're saying. 2 of them?
No, Jason doesn't have time for that. We got to get through this list because Jason's on a time limit. We can't waste time with that garbage. Jason, I'm saving you.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that game. So let's just move on.
Yeah. Number 2, which is what we all want to do to my number 3. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I've done that before. Got the little thing at the bottom. Hey, there we go. Oh, we get such hot takes in our comments. I love it.
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
You guys are great.
All right, I'm going to go with one that everybody hates, but I don't mind playing. I mean, it's not a good game. It's an old and busted game. But I enjoy the cheekiness of it. I don't mind playing it every once in a while. And that is Steve Jackson's classic Munchkin.
Never played a Munchkin.
I've got Marvel Munchkin. I've got Munchkin Old West. I've got Cthulhu Munchkin. Some of them were gifted to me. I bought this one. And I've got some expansions in here too. But yes, the game overstays its welcome. Yes, the game is very mean and take that, which I know Jason loves. But
I actually don't hate Munchkin, so no, this one's fine.
Yes. It's not like the most amazing game. I wouldn't use this to play with like somebody you're trying to get into games because it can turn them off of games like really quick. But that is one of the worst games on my list. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to go. Wait, not that one. That one. Thank you. I'm a big fan of The Office. Also, if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, another good way to phrase that is title of my sex tape. Worst 5 minutes of my life. But yeah, I knew Munchkin was going to be a big old stinker on there. So anyways. Oh, look at this. Yeah, Katie, you're also right. I'm sorry, Jason. She's sage-like over there.
Yeah, I mean, you said I was the budget version anyway, so it makes sense.
So, anyways, yeah, Munchkin is my number 2.
Which one is the best version?
Marvel Munchkin's actually pretty cool. I like Marvel Munchkin quite a bit, but I like Marvel stuff too.
I like Kung Fu or Munchkin Fu, whatever. I have that one.
Yeah, I haven't played that one. Yeah, okay.
I've almost bought Marvel Munchkin. Still glad I didn't.
But I used to play D&D, so like the fantasy straight up Munchkin is great for D&D players because of all the jokes, right? Oh, there we go. Somebody here. Ryan's got me.
A lot of people
back.
No, I think it was one of the early games I played, so I get it. Like,
yeah,
it's easy to play. It's easy to teach. It goes on for like 3 hours too long, but outside of that, it was fine.
Yeah, right.
All right, so my number 2. My number 2 is going back to like 1980 or 1970.
Uh-oh.
Now, this game was reprinted from Restoration Games as Conspiracy, the Solomon Gambit, or something like that. But I have the old and busted Conspiracy here. Now, honestly, I'm not even sure if this game is bad because we tried to play it one time and I couldn't get through the rules to figure out how to play it, which is disappointing. Because look at these things. You got to look at these awesome things in here. They're really slick. We're going to do a little bit of unboxing while we're talking.
Let's do it.
Please do.
Look at these. They come with these awesome busts right here. Look at that.
What?
That's a game piece. You're moving those bad boys around. Look at that. Has those sweet things. You're trying to get this briefcase, I think, and move it around. And you're taking on the role of these people who you don't know who you are, and you're bribing somehow. It seems like a cool game, but I have no idea how to play it. And if someone could enlighten me, I would love it.
Play a game with little butter busts. Those they look like little faces carved out of butter, half sticks of butter.
Bank book where you're making your transactions. It's awesome.
And did I see Milton Bradley on that box?
Yeah. Yes, you did, because it's old and busted, sir.
Wow.
Now, Jason, was that one of your Goodwill? Was that one of your Goodwill finds?
I think so. Yeah, it was like $5 or something. I'm not sure.
I've done some Goodwill digging. None of those made the list, actually.
We have played this, Katie. I told you that before we went on here. We tried to play it and we couldn't fumble through it.
I love it.
Very memorable.
That's how memorable it is. It's terrible.
Strife. Yeah, see, the man doesn't want you to know that you know how to play it because it's conspiracy.
That's true.
Right,
wow. Okay, my number 2. I guess I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to get slightly personal because it rips on this game even further. I lived with my ex. She had a teenage son. I became very close to him. I bought him several games and got him into the hobby. And I bought one based off of an IP that he liked. Cities Skylines, the board game. But this game is trash.
game on PlayStation.
No, like a cooperative, like you're working together. It just no. Like, this kid was super into this IP, and we both agreed to quit halfway through playing our first game. It was not good, and the personal element comes in where they moved out and they left 3 games, and this was one of them that got left. I'm over it, so I can say that now. So I did get personal there, but that's a total jab on this game. Like, it just
that's a hate. That is an act of hate too. That's a hate crime, Mike. They left a bad game with you.
Bought him a Christmas present. He left it here when they moved out. How much more can you rip on a game than that? So here's a free game. I'm
This game's terrible.
We're good.
Not good. Have either of you played it?
No.
It doesn't look terrible from the box.
I know, right? It has all the art from the game. Cooperative polyomino placement. Just no. Don't. So, numero uno. You throw this away. Thank you for the Jim Gaffigan. Or was that the Mitch Hedberg? I'm drawing a blank. That was
Mitch
a Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
Yep, it was.
So I saved the best for last, right? Best of the worst game I own. It's a game that used to be so popular in all the game groups. Now everybody collectively loves to just bag on this game. It's fine every once in a while. I will play it if somebody wants to play it, but I do not want to play it for hours. I play it for like 20 minutes, and then I'm tired of Cards Against Humanity. I liked Apples to Apples 20 years ago or whatever when it came out, and you're like, oh, this is a fun little game. And then the novelty of this being like the dirty version, was fun for a while, and then it just kind of wore off. I still have it. I got some expansions. I think some people gave me like some promo packs or, like some of them small packs that you could get. I think one year I signed up for like their Christmas thing. They do like a Christmas thing where you can get like crappy Christmas presents. So like they did like a Hanukkah one year. And so you got like this Hanukkah pack of cards. And then they sent me like Hanukkah socks and like that are cheap and ugly. I think they got thrown away like without ever being worn by anybody. I mean, we're not Jewish, but that's fine too. But anyways, Cards Against Humanity. Everybody loves to hate it. I get it. This is the first time I've taken this game off my shelf other than to move it around in probably like 4 years. So, what are you going to do?
I think the big issue with that game is last time I played it, because you're supposed to play to like 3 or 5 cards or something like that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think the last time we played it, seriously, it was like 3-4 hours. Like,
I'm done.
There's not enough game in there for like 10 minutes, let alone 4 hours. Like,
Right.
I don't understand it.
People
like it.
I can't play just one for that long, and I like that game quite a bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, no thanks. No. Yeah. If I'm playing for 3 hours, it better be like Tricarion or Anachrony, like something good. But
yeah. All right, so my number one. I think I moved it to the basement because it's that bad. And this, honestly, I don't really have a bunch of games on my shelf that I really hate outside of GPS, which is why I got rid of it. But this one is pretty bad because it goes on for about 3 hours and is really just Yahtzee. And this is Firefly Shiny Dice. I don't know if you played this.
I had this on my list, Jason, for worst games on your list. So
our first crossover. Wow.
I mean, honestly, the game is okay. When you're playing it, you're chugging some dice and you're trying to do some set collection stuff and all that kind of thing. But it's just every single player is doing that. And when they're taking your turn, you're just sitting there for 10, 15 minutes because you can decide to take another turn if you want to. And it's awful. So if you could play at the same time, if they had more dice, more simultaneous stuff going on, it might be better. But 3 hours of Yahtzee, glorified Yahtzee, I'm kind of out. So my number one, Firefly Shiny Dice.
Yeah, so I played this like half.
It's 3 hours long.
It feels like it.
It can just go on. I played half of a game of this, and I got rid of it. There was a similar flea market where I picked up that Crag Martha game, and I got Firefly Shiny Dice the next year. Same con flea market. I'm like, somebody just take this $5, just get it out of my collection, and it was gone. So yeah, wow. I feel you there.
It's and honestly, it's not bad solo. I've played it a couple times solo. It's okay, but multiplayer, terrible.
Wow. Okay, so my number one, I just feel like if anybody has ever played this, including you guys, including anybody on the planet, they would agree this is one of the worst games ever made. On BGG, it is rated a 4.2. That's all. I've never, ever seen a score that low, like ever. And it's ranked 23,834. This was a big box store exclusive. Sorry, not a big box exclusive.
I was gonna say, I think I know what game this is because I wrote.
Okay, if you've played this, this was the nostalgia grab that pulled me in. I'm like, for $15, why not? And it's the Oregon Trail the card game.
Oh yeah, I played that. Yeah.
God, this game is so bad. It's terrible.
I would rather die of dysentery than have to play that game.
I deconstructed this game to even make the point of how dead this game is. How dead the game is. It is dead. It's an awful game. You have to house rule it just to even make it. Like, everybody's going to die. Yes, to make it playable. Multiple house rules I added just to get through it because it's easy to introduce to people and be like, okay, are they gamers or not? Let's find out. You know, the 80s, it's better on an Apple IIe, if that tells you anything. I mean, wow. So, okay, you got your little, you're bored, and here's your characters, and then when they die, you can write a eulogy on the back. And that's great. You're going to be writing a lot of those because everybody's going to die 99% of the time. I deconstructed this game to tell you how bad it is. It's terrible. I'm glad I get to do this. You're like drawing these trail cards and got to match them up, but then you're like, draw a calamity. What's a calamity? It's a 10% chance of instant death is what it is. You could die of dysentery. There's 40 cards in this deck. There's 2 of those. There's 2 dysentery cards. You're like, that reminds me of the computer game. Yeah, which was great as a 13-year-old playing on an Apple IIe, but here's 2 more snake bites. There's your 10% chance of instant death. But then we've got things that can kill you in a turn if you don't turn in the right supply cards. You could die of typhoid or cholera or inadequate grass because your oxen have nothing to eat. Extreme cold can kill you. Your wagon can break down and that could kill you. You could break the axle, or you could have a broken wheel, or the tongue could break twice. Your oxen could just straight up die. You could starve if you don't have food. You can have bad water. Everything is killing you in this game, and it's impossible. It's broken. It's terrible. The rule book is even bad. Like, this is the easiest game to learn in the world, and somehow the rule book still sucks. They didn't play test this. They didn't proofread the rule book. This is the worst game on the planet as far as I'm concerned. Hence my rant. I'm done.
I actually didn't hate it that much, but it's pretty good.
It's so bad.
I'm looking over at my shelf that I keep all like my little small box games, and I'm trying to see if I even have it still, but I did have it for a while. I don't know.
I'm just glad I can put all these cards away because I left them out just so I could remember all the ways you could die in this game. Oh.
So bad.
God. And like, you lose a supply card. Why? Because you flipped the wrong trail cards. Why'd you flip a trail card? Because you have to on your turn, and half of them suck. And 90% of the calamities suck and are trying to kill you. It's so terrible. I house ruled it to get it to where we could get through it in like 6 rounds, and the game wants you to go through 10. You ain't gonna make 10 without house rules. So anyway, it's wow.
I haven't
It's so
played
bad.
Pioneer Days. Have you guys played Pioneer Days? That's
Mm-mm.
recommended in the chat. I haven't even heard of it.
It looks way better than that piece of trash, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. It's
Anything's
got to be better by
than that.
default.
I'm going to save. I'm gonna save. Ooh, the like 8-bit die. I'll save that, and the markers suck, so I can't save that. So I'm saving the die and throwing the game away. Oh my god, terrible.
Throw it
All
in
right,
Jason's
guys.
trash, so then it ends up in his collection. He's like, "What happened? How did I get this?"
How did the world? All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into what we got off other people's lists. I guess we'll do this one obviously a lot shorter. Do you guys want to read your 5 at a time for each person? How are we doing this, Timmy?
Why don't we just go around? We'll just keep going around. We don't have to go into a special
Okay.
depth if you don't want to. We could just go around because 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 left for Mike, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Jason because I had an alternate, but I'm going to use the alternate.
Okay.
Because it's a game that I think is actually a good game, but I had a terrible experience with it, and I know it's a game that Jason likes. So that was like my alternate that I kind of left in the wings. When Firefly Shiny Dice came swooping in and then swooped out, there was room made.
Okay.
The other one.
So why don't you guys just alternate on your 5 off my list?
Okay. I'll go first. Mike, I don't like the mind. I'm just going to say it. I don't like the mind. There's a lot of Wolfgang Warsh games that I love. I do not like the mind. I like the game. I don't love the game, but I like the game. Do not like the mind.
I have one friend that'll play it over and over, and I think it's okay. It's funny, but
Like, let's just stare at each other and put a card down and see what happens. Yeah. Okay.
pretty much, and then go.
Yeah.
Not great.
All right, this pains me, Mike, but Stefan Feld, you like Rialto, and that game is garbage.
Oh, I do like Rialto. I do.
Not a fan.
Wow. Like, yeah, I think it's actually a decent game. I don't know what it is. I do like that one.
It feels like it plays itself, so I got rid of that one.
Wow.
That's so funny. That's
Nice.
so funny.
He did tell me before you got in the pre-production chat, Tim, that he had a Feld on his list. I thought it was going to be one of his own games. It's not mine.
Nope.
Great.
Nope.
Sniped.
That's awesome.
Sniped.
Yep, I do like that one though. I hate the reprint though. Oh my god. Let's make it $100, not make it any better.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
My next one for you, Mike. You have several versions of this title. I don't like any of them. I've only played one of them, but I don't.
Ooh.
I just by default, I don't like any of them because I feel like they're probably all the same. I do love me some good werewolf games, some good social deduction games, but I hate One Night Ultimate anything. Get out of here. We got 99 rolls. Oh, great. You play with 99 people. Kill me. I'm done. Don't do it.
Oh, no. I haven't played that version. I've only put One Night Ultimate
Yeah.
is different than what the 99 player version.
Sure. I had a friend that had the 99 player version or whatever, but it just put
I
me off
haven't played
all
that
of them.
version.
I'm
I
done.
see.
I'm like, no, let me just play Wolves of Miller's Hollow or Wolves of Mercia, which is way better, or just straight up give me a pack of cards and we can play Mafia. No problem. No need to church it up. Just play a good, solid, basic game. So,
I get it. I do like One Night Ultimate Werewolf. I still do. I do.
All right, so Mike, I actually did like this game for a while, but I just played it out. I own this game, but because I wanted to rag you on it, I'm not talking about it for me. So, Point Salad. I think this game is like it's not a game anymore, man. You gotta give up on the Point Salad. It's so bad.
I do hate that you're shuffling the decks more than you are actually playing it.
It takes longer to explain, set up, tear down than it does to play that game.
That is true.
Like, I don't know. I just don't love it.
That's good. That's good
I
stuff.
got ragged on the full 42 when we were on there, and I was like, "Oh, that's one of my. I'll make that one of my favorite card only games."
But Katya liked that game, right? She had your back.
You think? I don't remember.
I think
Maybe
Katya likes that
something.
game. All right, Mike.
What else
This
you
is
got?
just a version of that game. I played one or two of the scenarios, and it just felt like the regular game, which I just don't like anymore. And that's Pandemic. I know you got Pandemic Legacy, but I'm like, I
can't get rid of it now. I've played half of it, but I didn't like it. So I agree with you. I didn't put it on this list, though. It was close. It was an honorable mention.
Sure. Well, I honorably mentioned it for you.
Good. Good. Yeah, I'm not a huge Pandemic fan. If you're not like huge into Pandemic, Legacy isn't going to win you over, in my opinion. So I've always thought it was super overrated.
I don't know. Yeah, same.
All right,
Get it.
so
As
I own
Jason's
this
over
game
there in
as-
his Pandemic shirt.
yeah. So I own this game as well, but we're not talking about me right now. And this is Code Names.
Oh,
There's at
Codenames.
least a million party games better than Code Names, and I don't even like party games. So I mean, I would rather play this one than Code Names.
wow.
I'm just over it. I'm over it. We played it so much. I'm just done. It's like all the rage because it's got Vlada Shivato's name on it. It's a game with some cards and some questions.
Anymore.
Play a better game. Yeah.
There's so many other word games I'd rather play. It's AP inducing. You're always waiting for that person to come up with clues, me included. Yeah, I barely play it anymore unless somebody really asks for it.
It was kind of revolutionary at the time, though, right? Like, what?
What,
like, this is
10
really
years
good.
ago?
Yeah.
When they changed it to pictures, now that was revolutionary.
What? Disney Codenames After Dark.
Marvel.
Oh, you're naughty. Yeah.
That's the one I have too. I have both. Those are the two.
I just got
Yeah,
regular
I know.
Codenames. It's somewhere around here.
Number two.
Yeah,
Hate
Mike.
from my list.
Wonderland's War. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Son of a.
I'm gonna come through this phone.
Jason's hopping in his car. He can't no longer join the stream.
Oh, dang. All right. Coup. I don't like Coup.
Yeah, don't really love it either.
I don't like
Oh,
Coup.
I like Coup. That's a good game. I like Coup.
Yeah. Like I might play it a few more times to get my H index up.
I did not enjoy it when I played it, and maybe it was the group, but I don't know, because sometimes that happens, right? You play a game like that, it can be very group dependent, and yeah, we played, like, somebody in my group had it. We played it a few times, and I was just like, but they also love the Resistance, and I hate the Resistance. Hate it
See, I like
so
that one.
much.
Yeah, I agree. Resistance is garbage.
Ugh, just hate it. So, oh, and here, Bobby's got my back. Look at this comment right there. Codenames is great.
No,
Defending
you're wrong.
companies.
I mean,
There's
Bob has
so many
bad
others
taste
I'd
too. It's
rather
fine.
play.
All right, so my next game is a cooperative game, and everybody loves this game. Katie doesn't like this game either, and this game is called Chronicles of Crime.
I don't like that one either. It was an honorable mention.
It's like I don't really like Consulting Detective, and this feels like an even worse version of that. There's no game there. You're just clicking on stuff. It's telling you a story. There's no mystery. Katie had it solved in like 37 seconds. It's just simple, and I don't like it.
If you miss
Katie's-
one thing from the wrong person, it just becomes this guessing game. You're like, let's try this guy again. Let's try her again. Let's try this guy again. Meanwhile, you're losing time, and then it's just going to tell you what you missed in the end anyway. Didn't like it. Yes, no. Can't
Katie
get rid of it.
Is
I've
a
tried.
Benoit Blanc. She is a mystery lover.
Yep.
Which really good movies, by the way. If you like mysteries, they're pretty.
And
fun.
don't ever play Chronicles of Crime with more than two. It says 4. Don't. It's
We
just
played it
two
with
people
4,
watching
yeah.
two
Two
people
or-
play.
2 or
Yeah.
3, unless you can screen it to, like mirror it to a TV where everybody can see like the crime scene. But
That's the best part is that crime scene. That's the only part that's fun.
I totally agree. I almost made it my 5. I wrote it down as I had like 4 number 5s and I picked it the last second. It was almost one of them. Nice. Good call. I bought it because it was like cheap on Amazon. Oh, let me try something like this. Oh, yeah, not so much.
We backed it on Kickstarter. It was disappointing.
Oh, no. So you probably paid like triple.
Yep.
Number 1, worst game I own, guys.
I think I'm through all of mine for you because you said Oregon Trail, the card game. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, that's right.
So it's just Jason's turn to hate on you now.
All right, so I should like this game because I like the first and the third in the series, but I despise this one, and that is Century Eastern Wonders.
Oh wow! I think that's a decent game, actually.
I don't know. I like pick up and deliver, but this one just felt convoluted and not fun. So yeah, I would rather play any of the other ones. This game's trash. I wish it didn't exist. It's just not good. So
I haven't played the third one. Is that one pretty good?
Yeah, it's a worker placement one. It's pretty good.
Okay.
I think I played Eastern Wonders and I don't remember.
That's right, because it's terrible.
Yeah. I definitely wasn't it wasn't like when I played just Century. Well, I played Gollum Century first or whatever, Century Gollum. It was like, I must own this game, and I really like it still. I know Dan doesn't like it, but he doesn't like fun. But we played, my brother-in-law bought I think he bought the second 2 and Gollum because he liked them. And we were we've never played him again. He's never brought him to the table again or suggested him again. So I don't think he likes him that much either.
Yeah. Okay. So let's jump into Jason's the top 5 from his list. So you and me will alternate, Tim. I'll just go first. Jason. Number 5. I was never a fan of New York 1901. I thought it was super simple. It felt like every game would play out exactly the same. It was another one where I just bought it super cheap on Amazon, and after 2 plays, I sold it for like half of what I bought it for.
It's a good game. Katie's not a fan, but I like it. It's a good puzzle.
I like it.
Tim says it's Foundations of Rome with cardboard, and I didn't see it.
Less convoluted, less overproduced. I like that. I got your back.
I thought I might get some pushback from both of you on that one. That's why I had to throw it in here.
Well, I figured Jason could have pulled that off of my list or your list. So either way, he was covered.
That's correct.
That's true.
I'll go with this one is also on my list. Could have been on my list, but I just wanted to talk about other garbage that I own. Smash Up. I'm just kind of over Smash Up. I want to like Smash Up, but I just can't.
I have so much of that. I have the big box. I got Disney.
Same.
My little, or like the little pony one, which is hilarious.
I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's fine. I just don't play it anymore, but I played it a lot when I first got it.
Yeah, me too. And I kept wanting to like it, and I just couldn't force myself to like get it to really click. Like, I think it's really amusing and fun in theory, but just never really comes through for me.
Well, we have a crossover because I was going to pick one of you, and it was going to be my number 1. I've never liked Smash Up. Never have, never will. It doesn't have bad mechanics, so it's not a terrible game. I just don't like it. It's boring, and it just, yeah.
I kind of like the Disney version. I kind of like the Disney version more, to be honest. Like, we played that last summer for the show.
I noted that Tim had 4 versions, and Jason has 5 on BGG. Dude, so you're both terrible. You're wretched human beings. Take your pick. It's my 1 from both of your lists.
I got the big geeky box. I've got the obligatory Cthulhu expansion. I got the Monsters one. I got like the Spy one. I don't know. I got a bunch of stupid expansions for that game.
I even have the sheep deck that AEG sent out for like free.
Listen, that's the sore spot for me because I never got mine. I was supposed to get mine. It got lost in shipping, and I never got my sheep deck. I'm still irritated about that. I want my dang sheep deck. That game is a 5 until I get my sheep deck. Then it's a 5.5.
Okay. Our number 4 games we hate of Jason's. This is another one I sold, and I feel bad because He has a podcast, or did have a podcast that's way bigger than ours. And
Jason still has a
Tim
podcast.
talked about him recently, but I played this game a couple times and sold it, and that's The Networks.
Oh,
I wanted
love
to
the
like
Networks.
this game. I like the
love
art.
it.
I like the cheeky comedy, but it's just so linear. You're like, oh, I need an action star to go with this action movie. Well, what if there aren't
Well,
any?
yeah.
Too bad.
Like in TV shows, it makes sense.
It's just so linear. It didn't feel like I had choices really. Like I had to get that action guy for the action role. If I don't, I don't know. It did not.
I mean, you don't have to. You're just going to lose.
I know, but right. So you would never want to take the comedy actor for the action movie, but if there aren't any action stars available that round, you're screwed. So it really just comes down to, did you flip the right actors over? And it just didn't work for me. I sold it. I wanted to like that game, and I think it's out. The comedy is funny in it. I laughed. I like the art in it, but yeah, that one just didn't work for me at all.
No, listen, Mike. Look, I'm taking some big swings at Jason's list in a minute here, but that's a miss. That is a miss.
I'm sorry.
That is a
I got rid
game.
of that game.
Have you played the 2-player one? There's a 2-player version called The Rivals. You may like that one a little better.
Heard
I
of
don't like
that.
that one as much, so maybe you'll like it because you appear to like bad stuff.
Yeah, I apologize. No, the networks
All
just
right.
wasn't that for me.
All right, my next one on Jason's list. This isn't one of the big swings, but this was a little Kickstarter. Bob brought it around, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, when he got his, and I don't love it. Oh boy, here we go. Andrew being a snob over there, rundown noobs. And here's Katie being a sage again.
It wasn't that I played it bad.
I disagree.
Didn't think it was that great.
My next one for Jason is Shelfie Stacker. I just did not like that game.
It's a good game. What are you talking about? It's about collecting board games. Come on.
I want to play this one.
I wanted to like it, and I didn't at all. I'm not.
Isn't
gonna say
that a
it's
Shim
bad game.
Phillips?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad.
I don't-
So I have played a Shim Phillips game before because when we did
Correct.
Wayfarers, I was
Yeah.
like, I've never played a Shim Phillips. I have, and I didn't like it, but I didn't know it. I wanted to like this game. I just didn't. Bob loves it. I know other people love it. You know,
I want to
so,
play it.
It's a simple, like, Sagrada-esque game.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
the theme a little bit better.
Cool.
It's super meta, but yeah, it's good.
I like the jokes on the cards and stuff. You know, like I think that's funny, but I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it. All right, Mike, what you got?
Oh, number 3. I have Pit. I know it's an old school favorite for a lot of people. There's a lot of speed games I just do not like. Speed games, that's the mechanic. I don't like that.
I like.
Pit-
speed
I mean-
games.
It has trading, but when you add speed, you got to do the stuff all super fast. That's
Pit was one that we played a ton when we first got into games. I haven't
I
just
get that.
because it has a bell. I mean, it's fun to ring that bell. You gotta admit, like, come on.
All right, Tim, number 2. He's buffering. This one might surprise people. I might just jump into mine. Oh, he's back. Go ahead, Tim, number 2.
Is it my turn? Sorry, I
Yes. Number 2.
Number 3. What are you talking about? I gotta do my number
What?
3. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 left.
Did I skip you?
Maybe I wasn't frozen that
I've
long.
mentioned 3 now.
I mentioned 2.
Okay.
All right, I'll go twice. Well, you did go ahead of me
Whoops.
on the
Go ahead.
last one. That's okay. So this was my alternate. Jason, I'm gonna throw this in. I know this is probably a good game, but my wife and I were at Geekway. It was our first con we'd ever been to. We'd only been into board games for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and
True. True.
there was we were demoing games and stuff, and so there and playing new games and everything. And one of the games, so we demoed a bunch of games, and the demo, every other demo we had done was like you play 2 turns of the game, maybe 3 turns if it's a faster game. And so we were walking by, we were looking at this table. It's like a husband and wife, and they're like, "Oh, would you like to demo our game?" And so Kelly and I sit down and we're like, "Yeah, let's check it out." Because we're like, let's just try everything, right? Let's just see what all these
Don't
games
say
are.
bring out your dead. If you said bring out your dead, I'm going to be mad.
I got it over there and I love it. I don't care.
Okay, good. All right.
Nope.
All right.
This game was going to be coming to Kickstarter soon when we played it for this time. We sit down and they proceed to basically expect us to sit there for the whole game. Like we had like 30 minutes to kill before we were going to go play some games with my brother, Pat and Julia. You know that.
Yeah, right.
So we were going to go play some games. We were like, oh, we got like half an hour to kill. Like, let's demo a game like while we're down here. And it was the husband and wife that designed Commissioned. So we sat down to play Commissioned and we're like, well, this is really interesting. Like for the first like 2 turns, you know what I mean? And then it's like clock watching, like, oh no. And then Patrick walks by and he's like, what are you guys doing? Aren't we going to go play whatever it was we were going to go play? And we're like, yeah. Like we're just demoing this. We should be done soon. And they're like, oh yeah, there's only X more turns left. And I was like, oh my God, like we're stuck. We're stuck. And so I've never done this before. And I felt so awkward doing this, but I was like, I'm really sorry. I think your game's really interesting, but we have a time commitment. Like we have a commitment to go over and do this. And so we politely excused ourselves. I was mortified to do it. Nope, not shy, but good guess there, Sleuth. But yeah, so Commissioned, my wife will never, ever give that game another chance because she was so embarrassed and frustrated, with that whole situation because everybody else's demos were like, come down. And it kind of like Gen Con sometimes, right? Where it's like, how long is a demo? It's going to be 15 minutes or 20. Here's a 20-minute demo. No, they wanted us to play the whole game. And I know you guys have played that game and that's not a half an hour game. It wasn't a bad game, but I also was not prepared to like sit down for an hour and a half and like play this full game, with Teach. And I was just like, oh, so that was my alternate to put on your list. Again, I don't think it's necessarily a bad game, but like if it's a running joke in our group, Bob was there. Bob's like, what are you doing? Like we were supposed to play this game. So Commissioned is on the list for that reason. So sorry, Mike, it was a bit of a story, but I had to get it in there.
Pandemic in reverse is what that game is, kind of.
Yeah, because you're seeding the board. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, Mike.
Haven't played that one.
Oh wait, I need to go
yeah.
again. I need to go again so I can do my number 2. My number 2 is Champions of Midgard. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like Champions of Midgard. I'd rather play Lords of Waterdeep.
Gonna happen.
I'd rather play Lords of Waterdeep any day of the week.
Same.
I don't like Champions that much. I hated it less with the expansion. We played it with. The first time we played this. First time we played this game, we played it at the last day of a convention, a different Geekway, a different year. We were all burned out. The first edition the rule book was terrible. We struggled through figuring it out. It was me and Bob and my buddy Pete, and it was a fist fight to get through that rule book and figure out how to play that damn game. And I'm like, I don't know. This game isn't that good. And then we played it again once the second Kickstarter came out and you could get all like the fancy bits and stuff. And so my buddy got the fancy bits and everything. And I don't know if we played Bob's copy or Pete's copy, but they both loved it. And I'm like, I'm over the Viking theme. I'm just because there was like 1 million Viking games came out that year. Blood Rage was like the first one. And then there was like 100 other ones. And I was just like, I'd rather put this Champions of Midgard with dice and you get screwed over by the boats at the bottom. Like I hate this game. And so
you don't get screwed over if you plan ahead.
Well, what happens is somebody else goes to the thing that you're trying to go to, and then you're screwed, and then you get stuck with something else, or you get the dang card that you lose half your food or whatever.
Yeah, that card does suck.
And so it felt like every time I tried to do that bottom half of the board, I just got jobbed. It was like, I hate this.
Yeah.
So I don't mind a game slapping you around a little bit, right? Like I like games like Black Orchestra. I like difficult co-ops, ghost stories, things like that. But this one just felt unnecessarily like kick you in the face while you're trying to do some stuff.
Okay, my number 2 then. All right, so this is a game I used to own and sold. So it's a remake of pretty popular game, and that is Queen Domino. Queen,
Oh,
King
like
is
Domino's so
fine.
good.
King is fine. And then you play Queen, and it convolutes it, it adds more rules, and
Makes
it
it a
triples
game,
the
yeah.
play time, and I'm not interested anymore.
King Domino's barely a game. Queen
I
Domino
know.
is a game.
I don't even like King Domino that much. So like you add this
I
extra
like King
stuff.
Domino.
Yeah, Queen, not so much. Yeah, I played it twice and sold it. It
King
was
Domino
another.
is boring.
Found it cheap. I thought
I
they
like-
were both boring, except Queen Domino had more rules and was longer. So I was
More
bored
rules means
more.
better, sir.
Not always.
Listen, I will always have a soft spot for King Domino because my Julia, you guys know my sister Julia, she taught Mallory how to play that one time when we were down there visiting, and then I actually won that game as a prize for winning a Ticket to Ride tournament at a local game store here, and when I brought it home, Mallory was all excited because she knew how to play it, and so she was maybe 7 at the time, but she taught me how to play King Domino. She was so excited, so pleased. So I will always keep King Domino in my collection for that reason, because I'll be like, that's the first game you ever taught me how to play.
My favorite
but-
one is Dragomino. It's like the kids version.
Okay.
It's really good. Like you collect these little baby dragons and eggs. It's real cute.
Hold on real quick for K Smith 78. There was Vikings 1408. There was Blood Rage. There was Champions of Midgard. I feel like there was another Vikings. Blood
Raiders
and
of the
Axe
North
or
Sea, kind of.
Fire and Axe. Fire and Axe was one that came out like around the same time.
There's a Euro game called Vikings, just Vikings.
So
There's
there was
Bottle Cap Vikings.
Yeah, there might have even been Tiny Epic Vikings at the time, like
Later.
just crap.
That was recent.
Okay, but still, I was kind of just
Still.
over the Vikings theme.
That
at
was mini
point.
Blood
Like,
Rage anyway.
like we get it. All right, Jason, my last one. I'm gonna take a big old swing at your boy Clemens Franz here because he did all the artwork for it. So get your
That means
body
it's a great
pillow out.
game.
I know
Let's
what
get
it
to it.
is.
Get your body pillow out because you're gonna want to nap after you play Misery Farm for either
I
20
knew
minutes or an hour and a half. I do not like Agricola at all.
It's so good. It's so
I love
good.
Caverna, but Agricola is so punishing. It is so mean. It
Yeah,
is so
it's
tight.
good.
You are not allowed to make any mistakes in that game.
Play good.
Or
get
you
good.
are doomed. You are correct. You need to get good. G-U-D good. Get good.
I'd just rather play Caverna.
Same.
I've
Same.
never played Caverna, but last time I played Agricola,
Oh.
man, it was humming. I was loving it. The cards were just banging. Oh man,
Hold-
Clemens Franz was just staring me in the eyes. It was a good time. It was fantastic.
Okay, so Jason, I'm going to use
That
your
sounds
logic
pretty
here.
intimate.
I'm going to use your logic. Caverna, more rules equals better.
Yeah.
It might. Yeah, I don't know. I've never played
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. I still love
Caverna's good.
Caverna.
It's longer, but it's good. Caverna's good.
Okay, so since I realized I didn't have enough for Tim's list, I'm going to save Smash Up for Tim's list so I can batch it again. And therefore, switch one of my ones to an honorable mention, which will be Kingsburg. I've never liked Kingsburg. It was another one where it felt like every game would kind of play out the same, even with expansions.
No, wait, is
Yeah.
that the one that Kingsport Festival is the remake of?
Yes.
Okay, I have
Festival
Kingsport
is better.
Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I could never
Okay.
get into that one.
Kingsport
And-
Festival is really good.
And before we get too far, Katie said that I only need to play games with you guys and I would have a better time. And I will say,
True.
I've never had a bad time playing games with Jason and Katie. I don't care what the game is. We spent a whole day hanging out with them one day, like 2 years ago or whatever, and we played games all day. I did not have a bad time once. So
Until Dan
she's-
showed up.
She's kind of right. Oh yeah, that's true. That's always the case.
All right,
Or
so now we're
Spencer-
going to get
or Spencer just taking,
That's true.
let's just take these turns and
stretch it out. Stretch it out. We're going to get to everybody's favorite part of the show, which is bashing on Tim. Jason, get us started.
I can take it. I'm an adult, sort of. What's your number 5 for me, Jason? Worst game.
Oh, sorry.
On my list.
There was some freezing up, so I wasn't sure what was going on.
Oh, yeah, the best part of the show, bashing on Tim.
All right, so now I'm going to start off kind of nice because I've only played this game one time, and I don't even know how much you like it, but it was on your
Okay.
list as you owning it. And it's a game called Apotheca.
Oh, I like that game. Okay. I mean,
Yeah, it's like some convoluted mixing stuff around, and there's something I don't know. It didn't feel like a game. It was barely anything. I think this game.
it's got amazing components.
It
the
does
tiles
look
are
nice.
beautiful.
I'll give it that.
Also,
but his gameplay is terrible.
It probably people are mad at it constantly because they think they bought apothecaries or whatever, or alchemists. They think they bought alchemists, and they didn't get alchemists. They got apothecary. They're like, wait, what is this?
Yes.
What is this? What
Definitely not the alchemist. That's true.
Yeah. All right, Mike, hit me with your best shot.
Well, I thought I had.
See if I can grab Apotheca really quick.
I hadn't picked up a 5. Let's go with a theme I've already rolled with, a game that I bought and sold. That's the Manhattan Project Chain Reaction, the card game. I even got the deluxe, and it sucked. Why is it every version of Manhattan Project, including the one that's currently on Kickstarter, is from a totally different designer? Like, it's just everybody run away with the Manhattan theme project. Manhattan Project theme. Yeah, Chain Reaction, not good. The deluxe came with like cool wooden, they looked like a nuke, like an atomic bomb cloud, which I thought was cool. And I think radiation tokens. And I'm like a Fallout fan, so I like that theme. And Jason actually rates the original Manhattan Project as a 5. And like, as far as one of the original worker placement games that got into, I actually liked that one a lot. But this Chain Reaction game was not good.
The original Manhattan Project, it has unnecessary spaces that I don't even use, so that brings it down for me. Like half the game I don't even use because it's dumb. So I just irrelevant.
I've never played that or Power Grid. I kind of lump those two games together as classics that I've never touched.
I want to play Energy Empire because it's a Luke Laurie and has that same reset mechanic that like a lot of his games have. So anyway,
bad news,
yeah, but
bad news,
all
Mike,
different
Luke Laurie
designers.
doesn't like you.
Well, probably not. Because I butchered his game in my first review of it. Okay, go ahead.
My number 4 for you is, I don't know, Mike, you may like it. I have no idea. But this is Betrayal House on the Hill.
Oh, I love this game. I don't care.
This game is so dumb. You're just arbitrarily flipping some tiles and rolling some dice, and then you're going to play some broken scenario that is absolutely horrible. This game is dumb. I don't understand it. I would much rather play any of these other games that I've talked about on all 3 of these lists than this one. This game is bad. So bad.
I never played it.
I enjoy it quite a bit. I like it. But I also appreciate the fact, or go into it knowing that it's busted. So not every scenario is busted, but definitely some of them are, for sure.
Oh, I figured out what I did. I goofed up. That's okay. We're fine. Okay, my number 4. This is one of the evergreen. There's an evergreen game I do like quite a bit. This is not one of them. This is one of the 2 that I'll bash you both on. But we're going to bash Tim with Carcassonne. Never liked it. I just, no. Don't like Carcassonne at all. I was bored to tears. Yeah.
I like Carcassonne. I got it over here because I got the Hills and Dells and I got Carcassonne.
Like, I feel like it's a game that really needs a player aid. Like, most people have played that game like 97 million times.
Mike, there's
you're
like 3 rules. Why do you need a player aid?
How do you remember how everything scores? Like, I could not remember. Everything scores so differently. I couldn't remember. It's like, just keep the rule book in front of me to remember how everything scores. And that's the only thing that motivates how you're going to play style.
It's
Boring.
roads, cities, and farms. It is not that hard.
Boring.
There's 3 things. 3 things. You need a player aid for 3 things?
I'm yawning.
Seriously?
I actually don't own a copy of any of these, so it's no bother to me.
Oh my gosh. I'm not saying
Not a
it
good game.
like burn your whole collection because you got Carcassonne. I'm just saying you don't need a player aid for Carcassonne. There's 3 ways to score points.
They're all done.
All right. So speaking of a player aid, the next game that I think is awful that you own, Tim, is Happy Salmon.
Dan rips on him all the time on this. We all do, actually. He's gonna go get it.
That's why I chimed it in here. I'll be honest. I've never played this game. I will not play this game. But watching this game played makes me angry. Like, I want to slap all these people who are playing this game. Here's the Happy Salmon for you. It's so dumb. so dumb. I hate this game.
It is
So
by
happy
far
fan.
the dumbest game that I own and love so much.
So
I will
dumb.
not. I will not deny you that. But I love it. I don't care. It is.
Oh,
It is a
wow.
minute and a half of insanity, and I love it. I will never. I will play it
Wow.
anytime because it's done in a minute and a half. So who cares?
It should be done in 0 minutes because it's terrible.
Just looking at, I actually counted 3 plays already. That's how. All right, that's how fast it is. Just the time we were streaming. Yep, there's
See, we got
another play.
Little flippers. There
Yep,
we
just
go.
played it again. All right, number 3, quick and simple. It's Exploding Kittens. Come on, Tim.
Oh,
I like that game actually.
I had it handy for you. I
love the oatmeal, and I love the comics that this game is based on. But sorry. Yeah.
Nope, that's it. I get it. My wife actually she kickstarted it. It's technically her game, but no, I'm not ashamed to have it on my list. It's fine. I mean,
Acropolis
nobody
has
has to play it
players.
anymore.
Well, Acropolis with a K does. Unless that's a different game. I don't know. It does.
All right,
How-
Tim. So the next one I just played with my friend
Uh-oh.
Brandon.
Uh
And this game is terrible. And it's everybody versus one based on an IP. You can get it at Target and it's called Jaws.
Oh, you don't like Jaws?
No, the rule book, I don't know if I even played it right. It's a game about trying to destroy a boat and eat some swimmers. The shark's way overpowered. You're not going to lose if you're playing as a shark. There were questions I couldn't get answered. It's a piece of garbage. So Jaws.
You just talked about this like on last week's podcast, right? Like, did
I
you just
did.
talk about it?
Yeah.
I didn't think you came away from it hating it.
This is a different day now. All right.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. And just so you know, Katie, I swear to God, I love cats. I got Isle of
He has
Cats over there. There's not a
He has a
blender in my
one-eyed cat
house.
in the house.
I've got a one-eyed cat. I've got a cat that has no teeth. That's like 100 years old. Yeah, I swear, I love
And
cats.
put them out of their misery with this plastic.
Yeah, that's
ray
it.
gun.
All you got to do is probably drop that 5-pound piece of plastic on it. It's toast.
Oh wow. Where are we? Number 2.
Yes. Two.
I don't like Evolution. Get an
Oh.
engine going, someone kills it.
Amen.
Get an engine going, somebody kills it. Get an engine going, somebody kills it. Just rebuild. It's an engine rebuilder.
Sure. Okay.
I hate
Listen.
I can't stand that one.
I liked Evolution like 6 years ago when it first came out. Then Oceans came out like a couple
Same game,
years.
still terrible.
Oceans is
Everybody,
amazing.
all of you
I
keep
love
saying that,
Oceans.
and I just like Evolution so much I won't even entertain the concept of playing Oceans.
I've played both. Evolution's bad. Oceans is basically Evolution with better art. Still bad.
Yes. Awesome.
And just so for Paul's sake here, Red Dragon Inn, we've tried to play that, and I'm like, I can just play drinking games.
Mine's
Like, I don't
still
need
in
to-
shrink.
I don't need
Mine's
to.
still in shrink. Never tried.
I don't need to like D&D theme my drinking games. I mean, and also now I'm way past the age of drinking games anymore. I'm getting old and crotchety, and it's like I don't need to play Edward 40 Hands anymore or any of those.
I remember those days.
All right, so this one might hurt a little bit because
Oh God.
you guys have covered it on your channel as a review. I did it on my channel as a review, and I'm not sure what relationship you have with this company, so I do apologize now. And this game is called Regency.
Oh, I liked Regency. I know. Yeah, James
Regency-
Fazio.
Is atrocious. There's no game here. I would rather play Betrayal House on the Hill. So when I said I'd rather play all the other games, I lied. I'd rather play Betrayal House on the Hill. I played this game for the review. It was fine. But looking back on it, I probably rated it too high because it's just not good. So Regency, terrible game.
We still got to do our production copy review of that. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. I liked it. Is it a top 100 game? No, but I'm fine with it.
Top 1,000 game? No.
Okay, well, I'm going to pull myself out of the woods here with a double crossover because both of you guys own Ticket to Ride, and I just
I have a bunch.
no, I know. Yeah. Now, it probably doesn't help that I played Ticket to Ride after I'd already been gaming like 8 or 9 years. Then I played it, and I don't know. I still don't know if it was like my gateway game. I don't know. But Ticket to Ride to me is draw some cards, 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 draw some cards.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Draw some cards, draw some cards, draw some cards. Oh, play cards. Draw some cards, draw some cards, draw some cards. I can't stand Ticket to Ride, unfortunately.
How dare you besmirch the great Sir Alan Moon? No, I like Ticket to Ride Europe. I own it. I'm fine with it. I mean, I haven't played it in years, but if somebody asked, I'd be like, yeah, I'll play Ticket to Ride.
Doopy's got my back.
Yeah.
Love it.
I just bought Ghost Train. It's good. The kids version.
I got Ticket to Ride New York, and I got Europe.
I have London.
And then I got one of the maps for Europe. So, whatever. Wait, is London the one that's 2-player? Or is it New York that's 2-player?
I think they're all 4. The one I have is 4. You can play with 4,
Oh,
but the board's this big.
I got a little. I thought it was just 2-player. Maybe it is 4-player. I don't know. I got one of them. I forget. Oh boy.
I was like barbecue sauce that's so hot you slapped your mama. Oh boy, that's great. Yep, don't like it. Yeah. I'm getting double digged. Yeah. I still like werewolf. I just like any reason to bluff or lie to people. It's fun.
Sure.
I don't even care if it's just shouting at each other. Don't care.
So I got, because we're done now, right? Was that your number one?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. So I got like 2 honorable mentions that are on my list. And I left them off because they're my own games. I left them off for different reasons. So one of them is over here, right behind me. You can't see it. It's you can't see it because of my chair. Great Wall right there. Great Wall. It's so disappointing. At 5 players, I will never play it ever again. I don't know if I'd play it at 4 players unless maybe we played the co-op version. I've got to try it at 3 players. It is a big disappointment. It's a big, beautiful, barely game in there. And then my other one, it couldn't be on my list because I haven't played it yet, but I've heard it's universally terrible, and that is Founders of Gloomhaven. I picked it up at a convention super cheap, and then everybody's like, oh, and I'm like, really? So I haven't even been able to get it played, and then my interest and motivation to get it played fell off right as everybody started trashing it. Can't even move it because nobody wants to buy the dang thing. Because they don't think it's, maybe I could trick them and maybe they think they're buying a copy of Gloomhaven for like $15. Be like, oh, Gloomhaven, $15. I'll be like, yeah, I only played it once, and then they'll be like, sweet. And then they get Founders of Gloomhaven and they're like, oh, wait a minute. So those are my 2 honorable mentions from my own list, but left off for different reasons.
All right, I'll do one honorable mention. I've been holding this one in a while. You both own it, so it's a double honorable mention. I know I'm in the minority, but Merchants of the Dark Road. I'm sorry, this is one of the clunkiest games I've ever tried to learn ever. The player boards are not very good. There are multiple icons missing that tell you what the bottom dice do compared to what the top dice do. How do I remember which one moves you? How do I remember which one goes to the market? Simple arrows would fix that. On top of that, the reason this game has so many rondelles and circles is because every time you play it, I think you'll do the same things over and over and over. You're going to grab some stuff, then you're going to sell it to this guy, then you're going to take him over there, then you're going to grab some stuff, then you're going to sell it to this guy, and then you're going to take it over there. That's every single game. I just don't see replayability there, and the clunkiness to learn ruined it for me. I'm in the minority, never liked Merchants for the Dark Road.
It's like every good pick up and deliver game. You go pick things up and then you deliver it. That's kind of what you do in this one.
I'm not a huge pick up and deliver fan. Century Eastern Wonders, I think, is one of the few in my collection. So yeah,
that's probably why you don't like them, because you like the bad ones.
Nice.
Dang.
I don't know, but like, is this a pick up and deliver game? I don't know. You're going to the same spots over and over and over.
Yeah,
Again,
you're
just,
picking up people, you're picking up stuff, and then you're delivering that stuff.
And
That's
I
the
didn't
sheer
even-
definition.
and I didn't even really like. I know I'm in the minority. It just did not work for me. I don't know. And the double point thing again. You can't go all in on one strategy. You got to do the same strategies every single time. So you have to balance, which means you can't go all in on one strategy. I'd rather try this strategy than that strategy. You can't. You got to do the same strategies every time because you have to have equal victory points of each stuff that gives you points. Same game every time you play it. Sorry. There you go. There's my rant. I've been holding that for a while.
Oh my gosh. Jason, I wish you were available. I wish you were available every Wednesday to help me keep my.
I know, right?
Because it would be.
To keep me in chat. I just want him to join our stream because it's been a lot of fun.
I know. We Wednesdays unfortunately are not always a great night for Jason, so we just might have to like figure out a night where he's got some more time and then just ambush him and get him in another stream. Jason, I know you're on like a little bit of a time constraint, but I appreciate you taking the time to join us, man. You can dip out whenever you want. You can hang out as long as you like. But I thank you for coming on. We've been talking about it for like weeks now. Like, hey man, you got to get on with us. It did not disappoint. I hope everybody else has had as much fun as I have, because I really like hanging out with you. So this was really good. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. And plus we get Katie in the chat throwing fireballs. I think actually what we need to do next time, Mike, is we need to see if Katie will come on with us live for one of these.
Have Jason throw the comment fireballs.
I'm the nice one. Katie will like rip you guys up. Just so you know. Like,
we need another mean topic then, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of those.
Yeah, see, look, Andrew just said that. Jason's wife is on fire. We need to have her all.
Yeah, we'll have to get her on. She'll have a good time. We'll have a good time.
She would. Katie knows, at least knows me well enough to just rock and roll with us and she's not shy. She's not shy. She'll let loose. She will let loose.
All right, yeah. So I do probably need to duck off. It was fun. It was fun ragging on you guys, talking about bad games. That's always a good time.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here you go, Jason. You got to see that before you get off.
Thanks, Bob.
But yeah, man, I can't wait till we get to hang out and play games in real life again. Because I've never had a bad experience. It's always gonna be good. And I'm gonna get you to play a miniatures game one day with me.
Hey, I'll play that Great Wall with you if you want to bust it out. I'll play.
Dude,
I want to try.
All right.
3 players max.
So me, you, and Mike can play it. I'll haul it down to Origins. We can play it at Origins.
Sounds good.
Right on. Well, thanks again, Jason. We'll see you, man.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Mike, that was.
And then there were 2. That was awesome.
That was so much fun, right?
It was. I don't know if we've had a single stream where I've laughed that much. Like,
oh my gosh,
that was so fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I didn't get a chance. Neither of us got a chance to gush about them. So why don't you start? Because I have something I want to add.
Okay. No, I'll just say, if you guys, obviously you watch some YouTube videos, go check out Board Game Mechanics. Jason does a good job of breaking down games. I don't always agree with him on games, but who cares, right? He does a good job of explaining why he likes things and doesn't like things. So I think you're going to get a objective opinion. I was already in the bag for Jason because I was listening to their podcast before I even got started. And then when I got started, I started bouncing off a lot of ideas. He's just one of the nicest guys. And his wife is an angel. I love her. But they're really good people, and gave me a lot of advice and a lot of help. And I consider them personal friends. Also, their podcast is really fun. They keep it short and sweet. They bang out like a top 5, unless they're doing their top 100, then they'll do like 10. But they do a little bit of news, they do maybe a little bit of Kickstarter. They talk about games they played, and it's always just kind of fun to listen to Katie give Jason a hard time. So, anyways, strong recommend to their show and the stuff that they do. All right. I gushed over Mike.
I want to ask him about the sheer number of games he's played. because like I'm just so impressed with like the breadth of knowledge that they have about games and different games they own, games that they've played. It's like it's so extensive. And I would tell you, I've never been like a huge podcast person. I'd rather just watch YouTube. But those two have like some of the greatest voices. Like they have radio voices, both of them do. Like they just sound appealing on like when it's voice only. So I've listened to their podcast probably more than any other podcast I've listened to. I'm not even lying or gushing. Like they talk about board games and they have great voices. I'm like this big guy with this high pitched voice and this high pitched laugh that's slightly nasally. And then there's Tim, who's Tim. But they have these but they have these perfect radio voices. I'm just so jealous of that. They're an enjoyable listen. So
yeah, I've got a face for radio and a voice for silent movies, you know. So
I've got a exactly all of that. Yes.
But no, I genuinely love those people. They're really awesome. But I listen to, it's funny, Mike, because I'm kind of the opposite. I listen to more podcasts than I do watch YouTube videos. And the ironic thing about doing like a YouTube show is that it's like, I don't watch a ton of YouTube videos. I listen to podcasts all day at work. You know, I'm stocking shelves. I'm stocking the warehouse, listening to podcasts. I'm driving around making deliveries, listening to podcasts. You know what I mean? So like for the last 15 years, I just listen to I listen to podcasts more than I listen to music. And I love music, but like, I just listen to podcasts all the time. And Katie, we meant every word of it, even though we do fear a bodily harm from you.
We're going to pick a topic. We're going to pick a good, brutal topic.
Yeah, we got to talk Katie into coming on and pick a fun topic where she could really run. Actually, what we do? Katie, pick a topic. We'll do it. Pick a top 5 or whatever. Something you just can really like sink your teeth into, and we'll run wild with it. But yeah, they have a really good variety of taste over there with the games they like. And we like to give Jason a hard time about liking games that only have tracks and that are grays and browns and, tan. But seriously, he plays about anything. Katie gripes about sci-fi, but we were at Origins and we played a sci-fi game and she absolutely loved it. So, we all got hangups, but I just always have a great time hanging out with them. So, Mike, have you got to play games with Jason and Katie before?
Yeah, it was, I met them at the second JuliaCon that you couldn't make.
Yeah. Okay. And, I was so bummed because I missed getting to hang out with
Coimbra, which jumped into my top 40. Coimbra was awesome. And Jason taught me Merlin, which is a Feld, which I liked. But would need more plays to, decide how much I really liked it. It was cool though.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I mean, again, my sister's place is such a great hub for games, and like hanging out with people and stuff. So,
and Tim, just so you know, that's the weekend I taught Katie Wonderland's War, and now it's one of Jason's favorite games. So I just want to let you know. I just got to rub that in.
The infectious spread. Hey, listen, I like that game. I liked it fine. I played it once. Bob taught it wrong. Whatever. It happens. I've taught games wrong too. I might like it more playing it again. I think I need to maybe play it at a lower player count. I don't know. Because it did feel like kind of longer than maybe it should be. I think
3 and 4 is the sweet spot and 5 runs long.
Yeah, I think we played with 5. I really do, but I can't
4
remember.
Really is the sweet spot. 3 is still very good, but yeah, 5's long.
Sure. That's kind of how I feel about like Cthulhu Wars, right? Like I can play with 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, but I'd rather just play with 4. I feel like you play with 4, you can play it in an hour and a half, and you can have a good time, and so I get it. Oh, now Bob's getting all defensive about what did he teach wrong with Wonderland's War. You had us resolving combat wrong there, you dingus. And then also the whole betting on the battles. I thought you said you it's optional, right, Mike? Or do you have to do it?
I thought it was optional.
Okay. So I think Bob said you had to.
I think I do remember you were saying that you were scoring second place wrong or ties wrong or
I don't
something
remember.
for
Maybe
winning
Dan said that.
battles. I don't know.
I don't know.
So either way.
Also, Bob was like making me do this weird thing where if I lost a battle to him, I had to rub his back, for as many points as he got, and that was awkward. I do think the one thing I didn't like about the game was that if everybody else quit, you had to stop drawing chips because I couldn't get to the number I needed to get to. I wasn't focusing on the goals like I should have.
Sure.
And I thought like, oh, that's not going to be arbitrary, or like those points are going to be arbitrary. They're not going to be as important.
Oh.
And then it turned out to be super important, and like more important than winning battles and more important than other things that I was trying to do.
Dan's gripe is he thinks quests are too important, which, I mean, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where if you know that going in, you need to complete a lot of quests.
Katie's right.
She is absolutely right. You just need to know you need to get your fair share of quests to win. And I think that just, as long as you know that, like Lost Ruins of Arnak is also a game I think is fantastic, but you cannot ignore the research track. As long as you know that, it's an awesome game for everybody.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think I was competitive in that game the one time I played it because I was able to swing over a little later in the game, but actually do pretty well on that research track because that's the track on the right side of the board, right? That you got to move up.
Mm-hmm.
So I built up sort of an engine or whatever, and I was able to do enough exploration that was satisfying, but then was able to sort of divert over and bump up that track.
All right, Tim. So do we want to kind of go over some orders of business on the channel, some stuff we've been working on?
Yeah, let's
maybe
do
some
that.
Kickstarters.
We normally would do that at the top of the show, but we really wanted to give Jason like all the time he needed to go through the list and then hate on our list, right? Hate on our game.
Yes.
So, so yeah, we're doing a little bit out of order, but yeah, let's do some orders of business.
Why don't you go ahead and talk about what's in the can? Because you guys shot some reviews this weekend and I wasn't there.
Yeah, we only shot a couple. We played Blood Orders from Trick or Treat Studios. That review will be coming out soon. That was a game I was very optimistic about, and I think it's got some problems. And again, knocked over my mic. We may have been playing it wrong, but maybe not. If we were playing it correctly, that game's got some problems, and it definitely needs a house rule or two to really, because there's a good game in there. If we were playing it wrong, then we were playing it wrong, and we will get corrected, and that'll be fine, like whatever. And then we also reviewed, what else? I forgot. What did we review? We've got Ransom Notes in the can, but I think I talked about that last week. What was the other game we played? I'm totally drawing a blank now. And then the guys, Mike, you weren't there, right? But the guys last night just filmed a review for Circadians.
Circadians Chaos Order,
which I hate the artwork for that game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll say
it's Sam Phillips, Shim's brother, I think. He did the art for Hadrian's Wall, and I think really it looks really good in Hadrian's Wall, but like his sci-fi alien drawings leave a lot to be desired. But those guys loved that game.
They did. They're calling it like a scythe killer, maybe. Well, and
which is strong. That's wow. You know how highly I think of Scythe. So like to hear that is like disbelief, but I also need to play it.
And I'll just say, like, the box art on this game, like Concordia, makes me not want to play it.
It's not great.
It makes me not want to play it. I walk right by it. I'm like,
he did the art for Raiders of Scythia, and it looks fine. Legacy of You, and it looks fine. But man, his sci-fi alien drawings are weird.
Maybe dude can't do sci-fi. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. It just bothers me. It just bothers me. And maybe it's just me, and I can live with that. But I don't.
No, I don't like it either. None of us did.
I don't like it. What was the other dang game we played? Now I can't remember. It's probably
me either. I wasn't there. I'll talk about some of mine. You can jump back to it.
Talk about it.
Okay, so we're going to have a review coming up. Actually, this will be a Kickstarter preview. So this game is called Spoiled. This is by a small self-made company called Eat Dirt Games. John Englert was nice enough to give us a preview copy. And this is a cool little card game that takes like 30 to 60 minutes, plays up to 4, and you're basically planning cards into your tableau based on whether they need full shade, partial shade, or full shade. So you have to play up to 2 cards in these 3 different rows, and each card has to grow. So you get to harvest it after so many rounds. You also have to water these plants. And it seems interesting because when each card has like these different abilities, some of them proc when you water your cards, some of them proc when you harvest cards. And it seems pretty cool. It's got a little bit of take that. I'm always interested in these kind of, it's like an action selection game where you've got 3 actions each turn. You'll run through 12 rounds. So I'm kind of excited to give this one a shot. I like these little elegant games. I'll just jump right into a game that I just backed today, and that is Zoo Vadis.
Oh, okay.
This is a reprint of Reiner Knizia's Quo Vadis, and I love negotiation in games. And it seems like Zoo Vadis, the reprint of Quo Vadis, uses negotiation in a way I haven't quite seen before, where you're moving animals to different spots and placing them in different spots of this map, and you're ultimately trying to get voted into this like supreme, I don't know what it is. Call it a Supreme Court. You're trying to get like voted. So the thing is that if there's 3 characters in an area, you need 3 votes to get nominated. So you're trying to negotiate points or special abilities to get votes from other people. Meanwhile, they want the same votes. But maybe you have 2 out of the 3, and the other person doesn't stand a chance because you have 2 votes and they're 1. Now you really need their support, so you're promising future favors. It just seems really interesting, and I really like this new theme and the components. So I backed Deluxe Zoo Vadis today. So there you go. A new negotiation game coming into the collection.
Look at that, Jason hopping in the chat.
Bam.
I know I'm not going to spoil Jason's top 100 list, but Wonderland's War is on there, and I won't say
very
where,
high up.
But it was high. It was very high up. It was higher than Bob at a game function in Michigan. It was up there. But yeah, it was pretty high up there. This sounds cool.
I've taught Wonderland's War like 6 or 7 times. So no offense, I should know the rules pretty well.
None taken.
I didn't want to say I'm right, but I've taught it more than Bob.
Totally fair.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all. Now I totally forgot what I was going to say. I don't remember if I talked about this last week or not, but we did do a video on the Marvel Ultimate Uno or Ultimate Uno Marvel. I don't know.
Which sounds like a pretty decent game.
Mike, it's legit not terrible. It was fun. It was fun, and they do this thing, and this is where it gets me, is it has this collectible aspect, okay? So you get Marvel Uno or Uno Ultimate Marvel, okay? You get the base set, and it's got Captain Marvel, it's got Thor, Black Panther, and I forget who the other character, Iron Man in it, okay? So you get these 4 characters in there. Then you get this foil pack inside, and you open up that pack, and it's a randomized pack of like 4 foil cards that you then swap out of your deck if you want. So you can put these real fancy, just really nice looking foil cards in there. Then there's like 6 other characters you can get. There's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, She-Hulk, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Ms. Marvel, right? The young Miss Marvel. And you buy this little booster pack. So each character has their own deck. Okay. So you're not just shuffling an Uno deck together and dealing everybody out cards from that deck. You have your own deck, and you are trying to either deck out your opponents or win like old school Uno, where you go, you get down, you got to dump your hand, right? But there's events that can come up which can then make it more difficult for you to dump your hand, or maybe you can't play certain cards, or maybe you maybe it's going to burn cards from your deck so you can deck out, right? All the decks play differently. They're asymmetrical. So like Thor is better at trying to like deck other people out. Like Black Panther can take a bunch of damage because he can take cards that he has been forced to discard in his burn pile and add them back to his deck, which essentially heals him and keeps him in the game longer. But yeah, so all of these characters play differently, right? So you get 4 base characters, and then there's 6 booster packs, essentially, right? So you're going to get that character deck. In each one of those character deck boxes, like the She-Hulk box, for example, you open up, there's your She-Hulk deck, but there's also a foil pack of cards in there, which are going to be 4 randomized foil versions of cards that are already in that character's deck. So you can kind of pimp out your decks by having like nice foil versions in there. I don't know what else. I don't know if they will eventually just sell, like the random foil cards. But yeah, no, they made Uno very interesting, and it was actually quite a bit of fun. I had fun playing it with Bob and Dan. Like, we were playing it and you're just like smiling as you're playing cards. There's no like wild draw 4, and you just stack and stack and stack. Oh, and Spencer played it with us also. But it was really funny to kind of watch the tension and the stress. But again, the game has a built-in timer because sure, Spencer can call Uno and we can make him draw cards and keep it going. But it got to where I had 2 cards left in my deck, and I had like 4 cards in my hand. There's no way I'm going to get all these cards out of my hand. And everybody's just looking at me like they're going to deck me out, right? They're going to deck me out. But then somebody got Uno before I could get decked out. So I didn't lose that way. But it was like that though, right? So it's like Uno with a timer, and there's a couple of timers built into it to improve the game. But I found it a lot of fun. I like Marvel. The artwork's great on it. And I like the collectible foil aspect, because the starter box that I opened up is not going to be the same as the starter box you open up. It's going to have the same characters in it, but you're going to get different foil packs. So they're going to have different rarities in there, right? They've got rares, uncommons, commons, all that stuff in there built in. So they're trying to add this collectability aspect to the game. We'll see if it works or not. I mean, Hasbro's getting drugged through the mud because of the open game license with D&D right now and Wizards of the Coast. But I think Uno is separate enough that D&D players are not going to be looking at an Uno game. I don't care what IP is on it. And all of that aside, I thought it was pretty fun. It scratched a nice itch. I can't wait to play it. We're going to actually, if you are in the South Bend, Northern Indiana area on February 11th, they're having a promotional event at our game store at Fantasy Games, where if you come in and you play it, and it'll be my daughter and I teaching people this game like all day. If you come in and play it, you get a free base game copy just for sitting down and learning how to play Marvel Uno.
Looking forward to you teaching me this game on February 11th.
I'm gonna make Mallory do it so that you can't blame me for teaching you wrong. She'll teach it better than I will. But no, you get a free copy just for sitting down and playing it. I think that's a really cool promotional idea. Like, sure. I would sit down and play it even if I was like, I think this game's going to be junk. I'd sit down and play it just because my kid loves Uno. Like, why not? Right? Like, I did this thing and I got this thing. Even if I never opened it. But anyways, that's the thing we're doing. But I actually, no BS, had a good time playing it. Thought it was really fun playing it with Dan, Bob, and Spencer, because there's a lot of like, oh, do I screw you over? Like, I feel really bad. This is the only card I had to play. I think we all had like lots of laugh out loud moments while we were playing it. And it was a good game experience. That was a way long time to talk about that game, but it was fun.
So the Board Game Geek Picture of the Year for 2022 is now live. Maybe somebody will post a link if they want. Either way, you can vote on your favorite board game related picture of the year. Well, friend of the show from the Full 42, Ketsia
Yes.
Howitson, she
Yes.
has a Flamecraft mosaic from her calendar on there. You need to go vote for her Flamecraft mosaic because some of those are just pictures. Like, hey, I played a game, and here's a picture of a game I played. That girl probably spent 3 or 4 hours on that mosaic, and it looks awesome.
And listen, Mike, and I know you're not gonna disagree with me because you got the calendar. You could open up the calendar to any month, and find a picture on there, put it on that list, and it's worthy of a vote.
Any of them. I'm surprised she didn't go with the Frosthaven Frost Troll, but
yeah,
because she spent 8 hours on that thing. That's crazy.
No, she is immensely talented. She is an A+ human being. If you're not familiar with her, get familiar. What she does with those components is unlike anything else anybody has ever seen. I mean, it's nobody's doing what she does, and it's great. She's immensely talented, and yeah, everybody go vote. And I shared a link to the vote in the Discord. You don't have to vote for her, but she got my vote. I'm just saying,
Definitely.
So good one. I remember the other game we reviewed, and it got very highly reviewed by all of us. So DV Games sent us a box of games. I have a friend that works for DV Games, so he's kind of our in there. But they legit, I mean, we have worked for them. We've worked their booth, at Gen Con and Origins. I've met the owner of DV Games. We have a nice relationship, but I also, because we have a nice relationship, owe it to be honest with them. So if they send us a game we don't like, we should tell them, right? Well, they didn't send us a game we didn't like. They sent us a game we liked quite a bit. There's a game called 13 Clues. And it is a deduction game, and it's family weight, but it is a deduction game where you have these player screens, and it's like Clue, but you have these player screens where you have 2 cards inside the screen that only you can see, right? Then there's 3 cards outside. What's up, Ryan? Thanks for joining us. You got three cards outside of your screen that everybody but you can see, right? So everybody playing has got these cards. So you are trying to deduce what cards are outside of your screen by asking a question, like every time it comes around. So you can ask like suit, which is like what color is showing. And so it'd be like, Mike, how many red cards do you see? So if I think there's a red card on the outside of my screen, right, which might be the Duke or whatever character, because it's person, place, and murder weapon, like Clue. You might go 1, and I'm like, ooh, that might be the one I have right here, but it also could be the one behind your screen. So you're going to just go around, and unlike Clue, if you guess wrong, you're not out of the game. You just kind of waste that turn guessing wrong because it's not like Clue where somebody has to open up the envelope and see what's in the envelope. Everybody can see, like, I know what you need to guess. So when you guess, they either just say yes or no. You either got it or you don't. You don't know how many you got right. You don't know how many, and everything. We played this twice in a row, like back to back. We played it. We felt like we could review it. And we're like, oh, let's play it one more time. Sorry, Bobby. Good to see you, man. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday when we film. But thanks for popping in as always. But yeah, we played 13 Clues, not 13 Ghosts. That's a bad movie. We played 13 Clues back to back.
Monkeys?
Had a great time. 12 Monkeys is a really good movie. And not a bad TV show. But anyways, we played 13 Clues back to back, had a really good time. We filmed a review of it. That'll be coming out soon. That's in the can. Mike, that's the game. I couldn't remember. I can't wait. Nice. I think I left it at the studio so that they could do thumbnails and stuff with it. But man, I cannot wait to play that game like with my family. And I think even you would have fun with it. I mean, it takes 20 minutes, right?
It sounds cool. I'm interested.
Long. Super fun and really good. I don't know if that's a reprint or not, Jason. Because I'll tell you, when we were at Origins, they were looking at games to sign. DV was looking at games to sign for them to distribute in Europe, because DV Games is bigger in Europe than they are over here in the United States. Like basically in the United States, everybody knows them for Bang, and Bang the dice game. So they are looking, when they go to Origins and Gen Con, they're looking for games that they can sign and then bring over to Europe that doesn't have distribution in Europe. So I'm not sure if that's the same one or not, but 13 Clues was a ton of fun, and we really all had a good time with it. And Rob, wait, not that one. Rob Silver. Rob, I just want to say 13 Ghosts, it has to be a better game than it would be the movie. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh,
okay.
Speaking of 13 Ghosts, I was just going to say that's the rethemed crossover of Ghost Stories and Oregon Trail, the card game, except it's 13 levels of Ghost Stories. One is hard enough, 13 literally impossible.
Right. What I would do is say that Oregon Trail, the card game, could be rethemed as Dante's Inferno, where you're going through all the different circles of hell.
Nice.
So you die, but then you have to play again, and then you just die again, and then you play again, and then you just die again.
You get promoted to purgatory because you're just dying over and over.
Again, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but I filmed a solo review of the Groundhog Gambit, which is the newest upcoming game from Grand Gamers Guild that is in their holiday hijinks. So it is literally an 18 card escape room deck. Mike, if you haven't played this, when I get it back from Spencer, I'm going to give it to you to play. These are really cool, really tough puzzle app-driven games. Think like that Deckscape that we played, that Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
But it's only 18 cards. There's an app with it that is incredible, because the app is just like information you may need, but maybe you don't. And here we go. Thank you, Jason, for looking it up. I couldn't do it because I'm using my phone.
Cool.
But thank you for checking that out. It's really good, dude. I'm glad you agree. We were really happy with it and thought it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, Groundhog Gambit, I think they're even doing like a 6-pack, because there's 6 of them. There's the Kringle Caper, Independence Incident. There's a Halloween one, the Pumpkin something. There's the, I don't know, Independence Incident, the Kringle Caper. There's a Valentine's Day one, and now the Groundhog's Day one. They're all great. I have loved every single one of them that I played. I enjoy them all quite a bit. So strong recommend. Spoiler.
I haven't played any of those. So Tim, I was, after last week where we kind of had a 4-hour marathon of a stream and we were both kind of dragging ass. I'm totally okay with, it was awesome. Like, take nothing away from how fun last week was. I think Tim and I are both probably content with this being a simple 2-hour stream. So I'm guessing we're probably just going to finish up with news and wrap it up.
We should do news and then maybe do one game. We should do one game since we didn't do one last week. One game.
We did. Yeah, we promised we would last week, and we didn't.
I got this much drink left. I actually poured myself a second wild turkey because I was having so much fun the first time.
Wow, that's wild.
All right, turkey.
So yeah, that means whoever's still with us, bring your A game. We want you to give us a goofy theme.
We're just gonna do one.
We're just doing one tonight. I have one last piece of news while everybody's thinking of their crazy game idea. Thank you, Andrew. I forgot it gets rid of my little thing, but that's okay. Everybody knows. Give us a goofy idea. We'll come up with a game on the fly. My last piece of news is not board game related. However, it heavily affects the stream because that is on 8 o'clock Wednesday on Comedy Central starting next week. Beavis and Butthead is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, it's already on Paramount.
We're going to lose all our viewers. we're actually going to lose a host because I'm going to tune in live next week. Oh, both of
Two
us.
hosts,
So
two
there's no
hosts.
stream next week.
Fake news. We'll be here.
I used to love Beavis and Butthead. Oh my God. I cannot wait to watch more Beavis and Butthead.
Let me tell you a funny story, Mike. This is how I knew it was true love. And I'm not trying to rub it in because you're, single and ready to mingle. But let me just tell you, there's two things that I knew that my wife was meant for me. Okay. First of all, she seems like a quiet, well done. My wife seems like this quiet, unassuming person. Okay. I get in her car when we first started dating. I get in her car. We're driving to this pizza place in Lafayette called Monocle's. Do you remember Monocle's from your days in Lafayette? Okay. So we drive to Monocle's Pizza and loud blasting on her stereo is System of a Down. And I'm like, what? And then she's like, oh, you want me to put something else in? I'm like, no, I love it. On the way home, she changes CDs and it's old school Beastie Boys. I'm like, this is the woman of my dreams. She's got me on two things. She's got me on Beastie Boys. She got me on System of a Down.
Nice.
I was in love. Then,
you found out she was a Purdue fan.
well, yeah, that I don't hold that against her. I knew she was Purdue grad at the time. The only thing that was against her on that was that my ex-wife was also she never graduated from Purdue, but she was a Purdue student. But anyways, tangent. But then I find out my wife loves Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, what? I thought only like 15-year-old kids love Beavis and Butthead. Because I think that might have been how old I was, maybe even younger when Beavis and Butthead came out. No, she loves Beavis and Butthead. I bought her a Cornholio t-shirt for Christmas one year, and she wears it all the time. And I'm like, it's a symbol of love.
Nice.
When Beavis and Butthead came back on what up, Brett? Papa Soup. When I saw Beavis and Butthead came back on Paramount, like my wife and I started watching it again because now they don't just do music videos, but they also do TikTok videos. Oh, dude, Jason.
How about an AC/DC shirt?
I know. It'd be so
I see
good.
it. I see you have braces. I have braces too.
I also have braces. Yeah, dude, from Beavis and Butthead Do
What
America.
the hell?
When he meets Chelsea Clinton. Dude, I saw Beavis and Butthead Do America in theaters at least twice.
I
Roller
did too.
coaster of Love Roller Coaster.
Oh,
by the
roller
Red Hot
coaster!
Chili
Oh my
Peppers.
God! Yes.
Dude, one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite songs. Hello. Yeah, dude.
Say what?
And only the Chili Peppers version. Because when they're
Right,
tripping
yes.
balls in Las Vegas, watching, like from that movie, dude, I love Beavis and Butthead so much. My wife loves Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead for forever.
I'm going to call an audible, Tim. I've seen some decent ideas in the chat. However, why don't we just pull a Prospero Hall move here? I would like you to design a Beavis and Butthead board game, sir.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so did y'all play the Beavis and Butthead Nintendo game? Or like Super Nintendo
I feel like
game?
I should have, but was it so terrible I forgot about it?
Probably. All I remember from it is like one of the things you do was like couch fishing, where you like put something, like on a fishing hook, and then they would like throw the hook out the window and they'd see what they'd catch. I want to do better than that. I think I don't remember if this is because Paramount. I'm not going to say everybody needs to go out and get a Paramount Plus subscription because we're not sponsored by them. But if we were, I would say that. Because they got the old Beavis and Buttheads on there too with the videos, super important. But I think my game might have to be. Oh, I'm like 2 glasses in of.
I know I put you on the spot with a surprise
it's tougher. I know I wasn't ready for it. So I think what you have to do is you're basically going to play out a random Beavis and Butthead TV show scenario. So I just watched a classic one. I think it was a classic one recently where diarrhea, Daria is is trying to write like a fashion article for the school paper. Yeah. And the guy, Beavis and Butthead, go to like a clothing store to get bathing suits, and they're trying out like thongs, but they can't wear them correctly. So they're wearing the underwear like over their shoulders, and they're going like right into their stuff. So, like maybe it's like oh gosh, I don't even know how to make this into a game. There was a really funny one where Beavis and Butthead were supposed to watch their neighbor's house for their packages to get delivered. And he's got like this crystal bowl that's supposed to be delivered, and he doesn't want anybody to steal it. So he's like, can you guys watch and see when this comes in? And they find a ladder. They somehow end up on the roof. And then, they get the bowl. They want to break it. So they want to go up to the roof and throw it down off the roof. And Beavis falls off the roof and gets a concussion. And he forgets, like, he doesn't know what he's doing. And the ladder falls down. And so Butthead is stuck up there. And then, so Butthead's trying to get him. I don't know, man. Oh my gosh. I'm so lost for a game for this.
Well, that's okay.
There's
Damn
so
it,
many episodes.
Stop whacking off my tool shed.
Exactly.
I guess here's what I've got. I've got Beavis and Butthead, the deck building game. And it is a game where you're trying to create the best metal band. You're going to start with level 1 singer, level 1 bassist, level 1 drummer, level 1 guitarist. And you're going to just, kind of keep practicing in your garage. But then you're going to be able to recruit a better guitar player, or your guitar player gets better and then he becomes a level 2 guitar player. And the higher star power you have for each person in your band, in your metal band, you get to play better gigs and more people come along. So you make more income during each gig that you play. There you go. Just kind of my quick little Beavis and Butthead deck building game, which totally was ripped off of Enharmonic, which is Andrew's game.
I think I got something. Because
I figured I'd buy you time.
You think, because I think that you could retheme that anything, right? Rock Band, the board game, right? So how about this? How about Cornholio, the quest for more TP? Okay.
Yes.
So
Tim going out swinging.
Let's do it. So you are either playing as Cornholio, asymmetric player powers. It's almost like Vast or Root. Every player plays differently. So Cornholio is trying to get TP for
his bunghole.
Right. Yeah. So he needs TP
for my bunghole.
Yeah. Then you've got Butthead trying to get Beavis to snap out of it. Damn it, Beavis. Right? He's got to get him to snap out of it. And then maybe you're playing Daria as a character. And you are then also you're trying to just document what's happening. Like, you guys are idiots. And then maybe it's not Hank Hill, but maybe you're Hank Hill. And you've got to
I can't remember that. I can't remember.
But he's got the same, right? It's essentially he
same
transplanted that voice over, right? It's Mike Judge, King of the Hill.
Bobby, damn it.
Mike Judge is a genius. But yeah, so you're trying to keep them out of, it's almost like tower defense. You're trying to keep them out of your house from stealing your TP. So that's my very loose pitch. I gotta just, because Jeff is hitting me in my sweet spot. Kung Pao is one of my favorite dumb movies ever.
From now on, you shall call me Betty.
Betty. Yeah, dude.
Na Sporin.
Taco Bell.
The sound of the gopher chucks is my favorite sound in the world.
Is it just like that high-pitched whine?
It's just,
as you get like the face up.
I'm just gonna bring this full circle. I used to have this joke with Uncle Mo, the guy that got me into board games, because we used to watch this movie and just laugh so much. I'm going full circle here. And it's walrus chucks. something I invented a while ago, and he goes.
So
okay, I'm done.
So I could tell you,
Sorry.
Jeff, dude, that's amazing. That's a lot of nuts. Dude, I saw that movie in the theater, okay? And I immediately made all of my friends go see this again with me in the theater because I'm like,
Dude.
guys, I know this movie's dumb. Listen, in the first 5 minutes of that movie, when the lady, when the baby is fighting, I'm like, okay, whatever. The baby is doing, is beating up those guys, and then jumps out the window. Okay, the baby's rolling down the hill, and you want to talk about like sound design. Okay, like I'm a movie nerd, so I get into this thing, and the baby's like, as it's going down the hill, it hits that one rock, and it rolls real slow, and it's like, and then it's like back to, then. That lady finds the baby and picks it up and goes, so cute. Oh my God, Jeff, you're right ahead of me. So cute. And then walks the baby over and then rolls the baby further down the hill. And then you get more of that joke. It's just, it was just so good. It's so terrible. Oh my God. There's so many things about that movie that I absolutely
amazing.
That I absolutely love. My nipples look like milk duds. You know what I mean? Like
Neo. Oh my God.
Dude, there's so many things. No, it's good. Don't ruin it. You know what he's like, my wound. And then he killed the dog.
Oh my gosh, I gotta see if I can watch that as soon as we get off the stream. I'm not even lying.
I own it on DVD.
Dude,
I love it. I watched that movie. And Jeff, just so you know, we used to do, so there's a drinking game. We talked about drinking games earlier, right? With Red Dragon Inn. There's a drinking game called Power Hour. Okay. Mike, have you ever done a Power Hour? Do you know what a Power Hour is?
Maybe.
Okay. So Power Hour is you do one shot of beer for every minute in an hour.
I've heard of this, but I've never done it.
Okay. It's tough to do. But we got good at it. Okay. Cause we used to put them away. We figured out how many beers you needed. Like we needed like a case and a half of beer for 3 of us to do a Power Hour. Okay. So you pour a shot of beer, and if you had to pee, you better take a shot with you because you're going to be peeing while that minute timer goes off, right? So then when we got good at it, we used to do a Kung Power Hour. So we'd watch Kung Pao and we'd do a shot of beer a minute while watching the whole movie, which I think is like 128 minutes, maybe. You know what I mean? So you would just, or not 128 minutes. Maybe it was like
pretty quick. It's under an hour and a half.
I think it was an hour and 28 minutes, right? So it was 88 minutes or whatever. So instead of 60 shots of beer, because you get full quick. The other trick, see, Rob knows what I'm talking about. The other trick though, with a Power Hour is you got to drink light beer because you're gonna get full.
Oh yeah.
Real quick. You're gonna be urinating
a lot.
The first 10 or 15, you're like, oh, this is a breeze. I got this, no problem. You get like 45 minutes in, you're sweating. You're not even really drunk, but you're just like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, I gotta pee. Yeah. Anyways, we loved Kung Pao so much. We would do a Kung Power Hour and watch Kung Pao, shot of beer every minute. I could quote this movie.
Oh, dude.
Like nonstop. You. So Jeff, to do a proper board game representation.
Oh my God.
Of Kung Pao. Like seriously. I want to take time. I don't want to do that off the top of my head because I love that movie so much. And I know it's a a bad movie on purpose, but I love that movie so much that I could not besmirch the name, right, of Kung Pao by doing a bad job of that. I wish that because it's Steven Odekirk that did that movie, and he's the star. He wrote it and directed it. I wish that I could do that IP justice. I wish there was something I could do. Oh my gosh, an F Mary kill. Okay, so K Smith, this is good. I love it. I love it.
Ooh.
I would let me just say, if I marry it, it means it's in my collection, right? I'm just gonna assume that that's the case. I'm gonna put that parameter
one you're
down.
selling and one, yeah, sure.
One I'm throwing away. One I played Mike's copy, and one is gonna be in my collection. This is so easy. This is so easy. This is a great question. I'm not demeaning the question, but this choice is so easy for me. I am going to kill Sniper Elite. I will play Mike's copy of Champions of Midgard because it's a lesser version of Lords of Waterdeep, which is a game I like. And I will marry Foundations of Rome to get that game in my collection, and then I can trade it away for so much. I can get so much if I have Foundations. If I have Foundations of Rome, if I have Foundations of Rome in my collection. Also, though, full disclosure,
Well done.
I could play Foundations of Rome with my in-laws and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh, this is a great game. This is amazing. They love it." My wife might even like it, and I'd be like, "Well, okay, like, I'll play it. I'll play it because you like it. You know, I'll play it because you like it. I got this amazing looking game in my collection. But if I never have to play Sniper Elite again, oh, till death. Till death. Can't trade my wife. Oh, damn, dude. Okay. So I'd still take Foundations of Rome because I think I'd rather play that than Sniper Elite again. And yeah, Jason, you got it. Foundations of Rome makes, like, we've got nothing in common, but she is hot as hell. So when I got to do it, it's worth it.
She's young and full of plastic.
That's it. That is
Nicely done.
That's a good one, man. I love it. I love it. I think the F Mary kill might have to be like another thing we do because that's so easy to do.
Ooh, that is fun.
Hey man, anytime you dropped an awesome bomb on us, I loved it, dude.
That was good.
I love it.
You might be onto something with F Mary kill. That's interesting.
And I'll be more on top of the game design next time.
Well,
I promise.
I switched the topic on you last minute and had you go first. And it was kind of a tough theme to build a game around, honestly.
That is tough. That is tough because
I threw you for a loop.
I think I would go. I'd still stick with Cornholio, the quest for more TP, and we'd just go from there. You know what I mean? Like we'd build it. Wait a minute. Okay, so Hop. I've never seen a channel do top 10 game boards combining the aesthetic and functional. How about it? Okay, so Hop.
That's a good one.
How about Mike? How about next week we do top 10 game boards?
That's a really good topic. I've never seen anybody cover that at all.
Me neither.
I'm totally on board with that.
I'd say save it for the studio, but I know you're not going to be in the studio next week, you know, because you got a basketball game to go to. So I think we just do it. We just be selfish and we just do it on our live stream.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great topic. I don't know if it leads to a ton of views, making it not the best studio episode, but I think it's an awesome, unique topic.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to discuss that. I think you're right. That might be next week's topic. That's a good.
I think that's really good. Oh, Andrew F says time to plug the Discord again,
yes.
Guys.
He is right.
Join us on the Discord, please.
Yes.
There is so much going on in that Discord. I freaking love it. And we've got a bunch of people that have recently joined the Discord from the channel or from our live streams, right? That have been engaging and interacting. And I love it because here's the thing, guys. I don't know if this matters to you, but it mattered to me even before I was a content creator, is when you are in when you can be in a chat with like hosts of the shows that you like, anytime, man. If you can be interacting with people, that you're like, oh yeah, I watch them and stuff. I don't know. That means a lot to me. Easiest way to do that is hop on the Discord. Mike and I are on there all the time. Dan's pretty active. Bob shows up every once in a while, and Spencer, I swear, is a real person. But he never posts on the Discord ever. But Andrew's on there too. So if you tag Andrew, Andrew's on there. He hasn't been on the show as much, but he's definitely an active member of the Rundown. And yeah, Discord's a great place to be, to hang out and chat with us and just ask us questions or just engage in great conversation with other board game, just gamers, right? Other board game players. I feel like we've got a pretty solid community, down there, and everybody's really cool to each other and respectful, but we engage in really good conversation. We definitely don't always agree, but I think everybody is like, no, I don't agree with you, but I see what's up. What were you going to say, Mike? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no, I don't even remember.
Okay. I'm going to try to share this in our chat real quick. I hopped over to my Discord.
There you go.
Let's see if I can get this. Dude, you can ask about anything you can ask about anything you want in there.
True.
Anything you want. We don't care. And yeah, Jeff, there's a lot of vegetable names. All friendly though. Because there's Mango Mafia, there's Potato Legion, there's whatever Mike comes up with for Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I need to come up with a new one.
Hop, I haven't played Trismegistus yet. Hey, K Smith, what's your Discord name real quick?
Yeah, it's fun to tie in YouTube names to Discord names. I'm like gradually starting to do that. So
right.
I remember you. If you're commenting on these videos, I'm going to remember you. So it's cool if you're in the Discord to know who you are on YouTube also.
I know that one's gibberish, but I'm just putting it in there so you can see that the link is there. All right, Meep. Got you, Meep. Oh, he commented in the Discord. Right on, K Smith. Oh, he's just K Smith in there. But
make me play a little deduction game in our Discord to figure out who everybody is. Dang it, I haven't played Ginkgopolis either. That one's out of print now, I think.
Yeah, I haven't played Ginkgopolis either. Okay, so good to know Andrew's Foxbat. So if we're talking trash about Andrew in the Discord, we need to be like,
Oh, yeah, I've done that a lot. That's not true. The cool thing about our Discord is like even when we're not chatting, like other people are. It's so active in there. It's great to like come back and see, oh wow, there's multiple people chatting about a game. Our Discord has been hopping. It's a lot of fun.
It's great. I love it. I think, again, you guys are amazing. We say it all the time, but I mean it 100% from the bottom of my heart, man. The fact that anybody watches us, get on and goof around just means the world to me. I love interacting with y'all. I think it's great. It's awesome to get out of our group, right, and expand, our orbit and meet other people and hear about the stuff that they like and what's important to them. So
yeah, and we were a channel that was almost 100% filming pre-produced, edited videos out of the back of a game store in a studio. And we started doing live streams and we became hooked on it because of all the comments from you guys. It's just so much fun to get the feedback live and just like there's so much of our show that is on the fly. Let's just see what people say and run with it. And
right.
We just enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, that's the reason we're still going we're because of you guys.
Seriously. Yeah. Feast for Odin is amazing. My only problem with it is that I only got to play it once. I loved it so much. I mean, I already like Caverna. I like worker placement games that give you a sandbox. I have all these things I can do, and then you have all those things you can do, and we could never interfere with each other. Awesome. And they feel totally unique from each other. so many strategies to deploy. Plus, the way it uses polyominoes is pretty cool. I love A Feast for Odin. It made my top 40.
Mhm. Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I'd
So
love
good.
to. I'd love
I need
to.
to
I
just
just know it's
buy it,
crunchy
but
as hell.
It is crunchy. It's a big box. It's a lot to set up. So just getting it out and getting it played is why I haven't bought it. But I mean, I still put it that high after just one play. It's
Mhm.
really good, especially if you like worker placement with tons of options and polyominoes. There's just nothing bad about it. But the barrier to entry, it takes some time and it takes some time to learn. But it's good when you do. It's really good. Yeah.
So, Hop, is that a Colorado Avalanche
It is
logo there?
definitely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Are you in Colorado? I'm just curious. I just, being nosy. But and anyways, Hop, ask us anything, dude. If we don't want to answer, we won't. But odds are we're gonna answer. We're pretty transparent. Mike and I are pretty much open books, man. We're not really that bashful about much.
I mean, hey, I
we
talked about my ex and her kid moving out of my house as a reason for how bad Cities Skylines was. So if you want to know how
Right.
open book I am, there you go.
Right. Right. Yeah. And I do have an ex-wife. I don't think she's actually like a Viking or whatever, but yeah, she's a
Drink
nice
out of a
person.
horn.
She's a nice person. Hey, right on. He's a Colorado kid. Hey, good for you, man. We had Mike Giuliano on last week, and he is a big time hockey fan, but he's a Rangers fan.
Gigantic hockey fan.
So I am working on the hockey knowledge here. But
Oh,
Mike, what are the 2 games that left? Oh, that's a
I
good
moved
question.
them. That's hilarious.
That's a good question.
It is Words with Friends, which is Scrabble. It's just called Words with Friends. And Outburst, which is an old game from the late 80s that I found at Goodwill and just grabbed. It was just kind of like, let's see if we can get her parents to play games with us.
Hey, listen, any old mass market game, I don't really hate on, because if it gets you into games or gets you playing a game, more power to you. So, but man, Jeff, that's a good question. What a callback. That he's been sitting on that one for like an hour. He's like, okay,
Right. I
gotta know.
I was gonna say that was a while ago. I brought that one up. So well done.
Okay, K Smith, what is Fuel? Who's Fuel? What team is Fuel?
Give me fuel. Give me fire. Give me that, which I desire. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that. And but I think we're pretty close to wrapping up. But yeah. I really do appreciate you guys. I've been looking forward to our Wednesday show for so long. Like, I just think, you guys just make my night. It's such a good time. Oh, Indianapolis Fuel. My bad, dude. Is that like a minor league? I'm assuming that's a minor league.
That's how much we're into hockey. I've seen the Fort Wayne Comets.
Listen, they used to be the Indianapolis Racers in the 70s because Wayne Gretzky played for them. Remember, I talked about that last week.
You probably Googled it.
I 100% Googled it. And Hop, thank you for the kind words, dude. It sounds like you've been watching for a while, so I appreciate you hopping over, no pun intended, to the live stream and checking us out. But I think tonight's the first time I've seen you comment. And if I'm wrong, I apologize.
Remember.
So Hop, my favorite sport is college football. I love Notre Dame football 100%. I do love me some baseball and some NFL. I kind of fell out of love with the NBA because I feel like the players just aren't as tough as they used to be. I would say in the last 10, 15 years when they started really pulling the load management thing in pro basketball. And I'll tell you the main reason why, because I get it. You invest millions of dollars in a player. You need him to be able to play in the playoffs. I understand that. But if me as a middle-class person, right, like I do not make six figures. I make well below six figures, right? If I spend money to the to go to a basketball game, an NBA game, and let's just say Kyrie Irving is sitting out that night, and it's like that's the player I want to see. That's the jersey I'm wearing when I go there. What a bummer, dude. That is just a bummer. I hate that.
I'm gonna have a little fun. All right. So my number one, we're gonna do a little tilting. You're gonna see my studio light over here that I might have to move. But see, right over here, the NFL is number one for me. I gamble on it a lot. I watch a ton of it. I do not miss playoff games. I do not miss the Super Bowl. So it is. I'm an Indianapolis Colts fan. We've got a lot of work to do. Not as much as the Bears, but we've got a lot of work to do.
Not a real Indiana team. Get out of
here. They
here.
were transported from Baltimore, but when they came to Indianapolis, I was not an Indiana resident yet. So therefore, the whole time I've lived in the state of Indiana, the Colts have been here. The house that Peyton built, I've been to many times and is a host of Gen Con. I may remind you, but I'm a big Colts fan and I love the NFL. Lately, the last several years, I still am a Cubs fan. Tim and I both are, but they haven't been good for a while. It's frustrating how they are and aren't spending money. But
I've got opening day tickets to the Cubs this year.
However, March Madness is one of my favorite times of year, and the number one Purdue Boilermakers better be making some noise in March this year. I love March Madness, and I don't care how many times Purdue chokes. I've been to so many tournament games. I've been to some heartbreaking tournament games. I just love March Madness. I love hoops. I love ball. Maybe it's because I'm from Indiana. Maybe it's because it's still one of my favorite sports to play. I still shoot hoops somewhat frequently. I'm 6'3". Maybe that's why. I just love hoops, man. I still watch the NBA. The Pacers are exciting this year. They have good young players. They play like a team. They don't play hero ball. It's not ISO guy with one guy dribbling out the shot clock. They are truly a fun young team to watch. That's why I like Purdue. They had two guys go to the NBA, and they're better because they brought in freshmen that play team ball. This is a great Purdue team. I think they have the best shot at winning it than any Purdue team I've ever seen, including the one last year. Man, I love March Madness. On Thursday, when those games start, I'll be streaming them at work. And as soon as I get home, I'll watch every game till midnight. Friday, I'll be streaming them at work. I'll watch every game till Friday night. Saturday and Sunday, those second round games, I'm watching every game from noon to midnight. I love March Madness, man. Talk about a passion for me. I've been in Vegas Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for March Madness, and it is just nuts. Oh, my God. I love being able to watch freaking 20 basketball games in 4 days. Or 32. It's so amazing. I can't wait for this year. I think we have a legit shot this year. I do.
The Boilermakers are going to be a ton of fun to watch in March Madness.
Oh my gosh.
100% agree. And I also love March Madness. Don't get me wrong, but Notre Dame is in a transitionary period with our coaching. If Mike Bray hadn't have done as well as he did last year, he would have been out last year, but he did well last year, and he accidentally went deep into March Madness last year. So it helped us and hurt us. But I will say, I got K. Smith. My favorite Irish QB that failed in the NFL, it's got to be Brady Quinn. If he hadn't gotten drafted by the Cleveland Browns, he would have been a much better player. But everybody knows the Cleveland Browns are a black hole for talent. They just go and they just wreck people. They just wreck people. My favorite NBA player of all time, of course, is Michael Jordan. He's the GOAT. There's just nobody more badass than Michael Jordan. Again, okay, full disclosure, I'm a Bulls fan. Don't get me wrong. I love Larry Bird from French Lick, Indiana, right? Played for Indiana State. Larry Bird's the man. I love me some Magic Johnson. So much fun to watch, right? But Michael Jordan's my guy. Michael Jordan is 100% my guy.
Reggie Miller, no question.
Oh,
next question.
Hold on. That's my favorite thing Reggie Miller ever did. Because I
Reggie
hate
Miller
Spike
was
Lee.
such a
I
stud.
hate
If
I
they
hate Spike Lee
shot
anyways.
as many threes back then as they do now, I'm convinced Reggie would be your 3-point king. But the game has changed, and now everybody's shooting threes, including 7-foot centers. So Reggie hit him at a super high clip. They just didn't take as many threes back then.
Listen,
Yes, agreed. I know a lot of Colts fans get a lot of flack. I'm sorry, Tim, for becoming Broncos fans. I've been an Indianapolis Colts fan as long as I've been following football, which was like the age of 7, so always been a Colts fan, even during the terrible Jeff George days.
oh man. Okay, so I was gonna accuse you of being like you got on the bandwagon when Peyton got there. But no, you liked him.
I get it.
You liked him when they had Eric
I used
Dickerson.
to get made fun of in middle school because I had this one of those starter Colts jackets. The Colts are terrible. Yeah, I know, but they're like our state's team, and I'm running with that. Always been a Colts fan, man. So when I hear that Colts fans are bandwagoners, it bothers me a little bit. I got the medium-sized kids jacket to prove.
I will never say that to you, because I get it. You've proven yourself. K. Smith, I am a diehard Bears fan through and through. I did love the Broncos, the old Broncos, when they had John Lynch, because I thought John Lynch was a badass. I just used to love to watch John Lynch just blast people out of their shoes. And he was a safety for the Broncos, in the 2000s, right? I mean, late 90s, early 2000s. And now he runs the 49ers. John Lynch was a beast. I never really cared that much about John Elway. Sorry. I know that's going to hurt people's feelings.
Well, me either, because he was like, I'm not playing for the Colts. And I know that goes way back, but still, my dad always used to talk about how much he didn't like John Elway. So I just kind of, took that same viewpoint as a kid,
For
sure. That happened when we were kids. So he was the guy that wouldn't play for the Colts. All right, not going to like him then.
And then, hey, K. Smith's got my back. Yeah, Brady Quinn would be way different if he landed on a halfway decent team. It's too bad his talent got wasted.
Your pick isn't Jimmy Clausen?
Listen, Jimmy Clausen had a cup of coffee with the Bears, and he earned my respect, because when he played for Notre Dame, I kind of thought he was a punk because he thought he was too good for everybody. I live in town, so I also hear stories about Jimmy Clausen when he was a student, and he's walking around town and he's too good for everybody, and his stuff don't stink, if you know what I'm saying, because I'm a townie, but I love my team, but I also see it for what it is, right? You see the guys here's the thing was when Tommy Rees was quarterback for Notre Dame in 2011, right? 2012, actually 2013, because Everett Golson got not expelled for a year because he probably grades. Anyways, I loved Everett Golson. Then Tommy Rees came in. He was our backup. Tommy Rees was to Purdue what Kyle Orton was to who did you have before Orton that was pretty good?
Well, before Orton was Breeze.
Well, right. So Kyle Orton's like a game manager, Orton did the same thing with Bears, right? We had Rex Grossman, and then we had Kyle Orton on the bench. Rex Grossman is going to throw for 4 touchdowns, but he's also going to throw for 3 picks, So sometimes we got to put the neckbeard Kyle Orton in to calm things down. So Tommy Rees, right? We had Tommy Rees. We put Tommy Rees in. Tommy Rees was a game manager quarterback, cerebral quarterback, but didn't have the arm and sure as hell didn't have the foot speed. Tommy Rees, if you lived in town at the time, got caught drinking at a party because he couldn't outrun a South Bend cop. And I apologize to South Bend cops, but if you can't outrun a South Bend cop, how the hell are you a football player on a blue blood national college program? I don't care what position you're playing. You should be able to outrun a South Bend cop. Tommy Rees could not outrun a South Bend cop. Got caught, got tackled by some townie cops, and got under the influence, or public intox or whatever. Anyways, poor Tom Rees would probably love to forget that. He's our offensive coordinator now.
Probably also
He's
like
all-
to forget all those red zone fumbles he had, but that's a
Oh boy, we used to call him Turnover Tommy. Also,
and it was always at like the 2-yard line.
oh my god,
Oh, it's a sneak. Oh, it's going the other way.
yeah, it's a sneak touchdown for the other team. Holy
Ah.
crap! Oh, holy crap!
Man.
But he's a really smart dude, and I really
Tim,
appreciate what he's
I
done.
don't want this one to venture into the 3-hour territory, but
Okay,
Hop is definitely throwing some good questions at us.
we'll do this last one, and then we'll be done.
Fair.
So best sports related board game excluding racing. So I can't say Thunder Rally, and you can't say Heat.
Yeah.
And we can't say Ready Set Bet.
There's so many good racing games. I love racing games, so I'm
Okay,
glad you excluded that.
So I will say
I know
it's
what
over-
you're going to
it's-
go with.
What baseball highlights?
Yeah,
Or First and Roll. Have you played First and Roll
No.
yet?
I have not.
Oh, but you played what was the football
Played
one we
Sports Dice with
played?
you?
Sports Dice. Yeah, Sports
We
Dice.
both have Blood Bowl Team Manager, the card game, which is pretty decent.
Haven't played it, but I have it.
Oh, I have, and it's pretty decent.
I got it right up there.
I
I'd
never
love to-
liked. Oh, I was just gonna say I played and sold bottom of the ninth.
Oh, I never played that one.
That was another speed game. It was like, okay, you hit the ball. All right, now who can roll a 6 first? Oh, you're out. It was awful.
I got one other one that I like. Chaos Ball by Eric Lang.
Yeah, I thought that one might come up. What? Do I have other sports games? Man, I feel like I don't. Huge sports fans, but yeah, I don't think I've played a ton of sports games that I like really loved.
NHL Power Play is pretty good by Cryptozoic. It's sort of similar to their Lord of the Rings or DC Duck Builder game, except that there's a goalie and you can make it harder for people to score a goal. So that's kind of cool. I wish they would do an updated version. I imagine they can't get like the hockey license for it, but yeah, those would be our games. Hop, man, what an awesome addition to the chat tonight. I really appreciate you getting in there with
For
us.
sure.
K Smith, I have not played Battle Ball, but again, thank you guys all for showing up. We cannot go for 4 hours tonight because man, that next day last week was rough for me. And dude,
Don't apologize. We love the comments.
do not apologize because we would just say, hey, we'll talk about it later if we didn't want to. The comments is what like Mike and I are addicted to doing the show is the comments, dude.
Seriously, it is.
So I am just thank you for being here, man. It means the world to us. Same thing with everybody else that gets on here and comments. Brett. So Brett was talking in our Discord real quick. I got to give him a shout out. We used to play at the open game nights at Fantasy Games back in the day. That's how I know Brett. And then he moved, and then I think I ran into him at like a Gen Con. I've run into him a few times kind of out in the wild, and it's like, oh, good to see you, man. How you doing? But just super nice guy. Always good to see him. Glad to see he's like interacting and and hanging out with us a little bit. So but all you guys, man, you guys are great. It's so much fun. I look forward to Wednesday. I think if Mike and I could get away with it, we'd do this like almost every night, because we do have a good time,
It's a good time.
And
And having
Mike,
Jason on was a blast.
dude, it was great. I love Jason and Mike. Honestly, dude, this wouldn't be near as good without you. You know what I mean? Like you and I feel like we just got this great dynamic, so
It's good for sure. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, this wouldn't be near as good without you. So
same. I mean, yeah, it's funny. That was just kind of this thing we were experimenting with a couple months ago. Next week, Tim, will be our 10th Whiskey Wednesday. So it's a thing now. We even talked about maybe changing the name so we don't steer away the people that are not perhaps as interested in whiskey. But as Tim knows, I like to promote things with like this consistent verbiage that just sticks in people's heads. So I stuck with, day of the week alliteration. So we're going to run with it a little bit longer at least. But
Yeah,
it's
who
so
cares?
fun. We just can't get enough of it. We're going to keep doing it every week for at least a while. I wish we could get more of the other guys on, but you know, it is what it is. It's a ton of fun, and all of you make it worth it. So
Yeah, yeah, it just makes it even better. So, but anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week with more. It might be best game boards in board games.
it might be
Man, that's a good one. Hop came out
really
just
good
throwing
one.
fireballs on his first appearance.
And
So
if you're not in our Discord,
congratulations.
jump in because we literally take topic ideas straight off of your recommendations when we can't come up with one. So again, another reason to jump on our Discord. So
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, 100. Yeah, exactly, exactly. All right, guys. Well, we better sign off because we'll go for another hour and a half just gushing
True.
about how much we love you. so, all
True.
right. All right. For the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I'm Mike.
We'll see you next time.
Hopefully Wednesday.
Hopefully.